गुड इभिनिङ अल। र आजको कार्यक्रम हामी केही क्षणमै सुरु गर्नेछौँ। त्यसर्थ हजुरहरू धैर्यधारण गरेर बसिदिनुहोस् म भनी अनुरोध गर्दछु। गुड इभिनिङ अल। र हामी हाम्रो कार्यक्रम 6:05 स्टार्ट गर्नेछौँ एट 6:05 सबैलाई गुड इभिनिङ। र विशेष गरेर हामीमाझ यस गुगल मिट साथै हाम्रो मञ्चको फेसबुक लाइभबाट जतिजना दर्शकबिन्दहरू हामीसँग जोडिनु भएको छ उहाँहरूलाई हामी मञ्चको तर्फबाट यस कार्यक्रममा स्वागत साथै अभिनन्दन टक्राउँदछौँ। र विशेष गरेर हामीले मञ्चले सिक्किमको विभिन्न विषयमाथि अनलाइन कार्यक्रमहरू आयोजना गर्दै आइरहेको छ। र विशेष गरेर हालैमा भने हामीले अर्बन सिरिजको 2टा सिरिज हामीले अघिबाट नै हामीले गरिसकेका छौँ। र आज भने विशेष गरेर अर्बन सिरिजको तेस्रो श्रृङ्खला हुनेछ। र विशेष गरेर हामीले अगाडिको 2टा सिरिजमा हामीले विशेष गरेर अर्बन एरियामा के कस्तो समस्याहरू भोगिरहेको छ त्यस विषयमा हामीले विशेष गरेर परिचर्चा गऱ्यौँ। र आज भने विशेष गरेर हामी अर्बन सिरिजको तेस्रो श्रृङ्खलामा हामी अर्बन प्लानिङ एन्ड मोबिलिटी माथि चर्चा गर्नेछौँ अथवा सहरी योजना र गतिशीलतामाथि हामी विशेष गरेर चर्चा गर्नेछौँ। र आजको यस अनलाइन कार्यक्रममा हामीले विशेष गरेर 2जना स्पिकरहरूलाई हामीले यस कार्यक्रमको निम्ति हामीले निम्ताएको छौँ। र विशेष गरेर हाम्रो स्पिकरहरू हुनुहुन्छ प्रशान्त प्रधान अनि उपेन्द्र गुरुङ हुनुहुन्छ। र उहाँहरू दुवैजना पेसाले उहाँहरू आर्किटेक्ट हुनुहुन्छ। र विशेष आजको यस कार्यक्रम सुरु गर्नभन्दा अघि म हाम्रो साथी भानु शर्मालाई मञ्च के हो, मञ्चले के गर्न चाहिरहेको छ त्यस विषयमा छोटकरीमा राखिदिनुहोस् भनी म अनुरोध गर्दछु।
थ्याङ्क यू योगेश। सधैँ जस्तै हामी कार्यक्रमहरू गर्दा मञ्चबारे केही भन्ने गर्छौँ अनि मञ्च के हो र यसले के गर्न चाहिरहेको छ सिक्किमे समाजमा भनेर म केही कुरा हजुरहरू सामु राख्न चाहन्छु। भन्नुपर्दा मञ्च एक निरन्तर रूपमा बढ्दै गरेको सामाजिक अनि राजनीतिक आन्दोलन हो। यसको लक्ष्य सिक्किमको राजनीतिक संरचना साथै शासनको मोडलमा रूपान्तरण ल्याउनु हो। जनविरोधी सत्ताले समाजको पतन गराइरहेको भौतिक परिस्थितिमा गो विथ द फ्लो नभनेर सचेत मान्छेहरूको समूहको पहलमा मञ्च निर्माण भएको हो। अहिलेको भ्रष्ट राजनीतिक संरचनाको जग्गामा खराब शासन मोडल उभिएको छ। फलस्वरूप सिक्किमको विद्यावान जीवनशैली निम्न स्तरीय भएर गएको छ। वातावरणलाई निरन्तर शोषण गर्दैछ। सिक्किमको सामाजिक सम्पत्तिको बिक्री गराउँदैछ। हामीले हेर्ने हो भने सिक्किमको भूमि र जनता अहिले निर्दयी र भ्रष्ट राजनीतिक निजी लगानीकर्ता बिचौलिया दलको दयामा बाँचेको जस्तो भइरहेको छ। हाम्रो जग्गा, प्राकृतिक स्रोत र नागरिकको भविष्य टुक्रा टुक्रा बनाई बेच्ने दलालहरू नै निरन्तर रूपमा जनतालाई दलीय, जातीय, जात, वर्ग र धर्मको आधारमा ध्रुवीकरण गरिरहेका छन्। यिनै मानिसहरू जनतालाई वास्तविक मुद्दाहरूबाट टाढा राख्न तत्काल लाभ दिने, क्यास आदि दिने अनि समाजले भोगिरहेको समस्यामा दीर्घकालीन समाधान भने नदिने गर्दछन्। लोकतन्त्र भने तापनि यस्ता दलाल सत्तारूढ दल नेतागणबाट साथै यस्ता गलत राजनीतिक संरचनाले बारम्बार मानिसहरूलाई उत्पीडित गरेपछि मञ्च नागरिकको स्वार्थको प्रतिरक्षा गर्नका निम्ति तयार भएको हो अनि यो नागरिककै सङ्गठन हो। दलविहीन राजनीति, सामूहिक नेतृत्व र शून्य लगानी अर्थात् जिरो इन्भेस्टमेन्टको राजनीतिबाट संरचनामा परिवर्तन गर्दै मञ्चले वर्तमान राजनीतिक संरचना परिवर्तन गरेर मात्र दिगो विकास, सहभागितामूलक र समावेशी शासन मोडल स्थापना गर्न सकिन्छ। साँचो लोकतान्त्रिक राजनीतिक संरचना र समावेशी सुशासन मोडल अपनाइयो भने मात्र नागरिक निर्णय प्रक्रियामा प्रमुख सरोकारवाला बन्नेछन् र योजना प्रक्रियामा सहभागी बन्नेछन्। आउँ जुडौँ यो आन्दोलनमा, नयाँ सिक्किम निर्माण मञ्चमा सामेल भई योगदान पुर्याउँ। धन्यवाद।
धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद भानु साथीलाई। र विशेष गरेर अझै जो हामीमा आज जति पनि नयाँ दर्शकहरू जोडिनु भएको छ र उहाँहरूले अझै मञ्चको विषयमा उहाँहरूले अझै जान्नु चाह्यो भने हाम्रो फेसबुक पेज, साथै इन्स्टाग्राम पेज अनि हाम्रो वेबसाइटमा गएर तपाईँहरूले अझै मञ्चको विषयमा ज्यादा जान्नु सक्नुहुनेछ। र समयलाई खेर नफालिकन म आजको कार्यक्रमलाई सुरु गर्न गइरहेको छु। र म आजको कार्यक्रमको विशेष गरेर यहाँ हामीसँग जति पनि यस गुगल मिट साथै फेसबुक लाइभमा जोडिनु भएको छ उहाँहरूलाई म आजको विशेष गरी कार्यक्रमको फर्मेट यहाँहरूलाई जानकारी दिन चाहे कि आज हाम्रो विशेष गरेर दुईजना स्पिकर हुनुहुन्छ र हाम्रो दुईजना स्पिकर्सहरूले उहाँहरूको पोइन्ट पहिला राख्नुहुनेछ। त्यस पश्चात हामी क्वेसन एन्ड आन्सर सेसन गर्नेछौँ र समयलाई बेसी खेर नफालिकन म आजको पहिलो स्पिकर हाम्रो प्रशान्त प्रधान सरलाई आफ्नो वक्तव्य राखिदिनुहोस् भनी म अनुरोध गर्दछु। सो प्रशान्त सर।
थ्याङ्क यू भाइ फर अब पहिला त मलाई अब वेलकम या इन्भाइट गर्नुभएको, नट वेलकम बट इन्भाइट गर्नुभएकोमा आइ एम भेरी थ्याङ्कफुल एन्ड इट्स अनर फर मी टु बी हियर टु स्पिक तपाईँहरूसँग। तर मेरो अब प्रेजेन्टेसन चाहिँ अलिकति टेक्निकल हुन्छ। टेक्निकल हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ नेपालीमा बोल्नु मलाई अलिकति साह्रो पर्ने भयो। सो आई होप त्यो प्रब्लम चाहिँ हुँदैन होला। म ट्राई गर्छु जति सक्दो नेपालीमा एक्सप्लेन गर्नु। तर हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ मिडियम हुन्छ अर्बन प्लानिङ, अर्बन डिजाइन, आर्किटेक्चर, त्यो सब चाहिँ अब के भन्दाखेरि एकदम भिजुअल मिडियम हो। मतलब हेर्नु सक्ने, हेरेर मतलब जान्नु सक्ने, त्यसमा अब खासमा बोल्नु पनि पर्दैन। तपाईँले हेरेरै तपाईँले चाल पाउन सक्नुहुन्छ कि के चाहिँ कुरा हुँदैछ भनेर त्यसमा नि। सो म त्यही भन्दै म अब एउटा सानो प्रेजेन्टेसन मैले प्रिपेयर गरेको छु, अन्त म ट्राई गर्छु त्यसलाई प्रेजेन्ट गर्नु अहिले। ओके, काइन्डली मलाई भनिदिनुहोस् होला कि Oh, can't share screen. Okay. So तपाईँले मलाई त्यो स्क्रिन शेयर गर्ने पर्मिसन दिनु पर्यो होला.
हजुर हुन्छ. दिपेश आर यु हियर?
So can I share my screen?
Just 1 minute. I'm looking for the setting.
Okay.
Can you try now?
Now what's happening is that there is no, like the whole button has been disabled. Can't share your screen. You must grant permission in order to share your screen. So
From
far.
here, I've granted the permission key, like share the screen.
Okay, म पनि ट्राई गर्छु यहाँबाट. Can you see my screen? No?
हजुर सर देखेकै छैन
No,
अहिले.
not yet.
Okay, just give me a minute. Maybe मेरै साइडबाट केही छ कि.
तपाईहरु एकछिन धैर्य धारण गरिदिनु होला. केही टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टिज भइरहेको छ.
Okay, maybe. Okay, it's sharing, no? I mean,
now it's visible, sir.
can you see my screen now?
Yeah, हजुर.
Okay, no, I can't see you all, so we'll. But अलिकति मलाई feedback दिनुहोस् न कि screen चाहिँ अब देख्दैछ भनेर. Okay.
Roger, take this up.
You can see a blank screen.
हजुर.
Okay, great. So पहिला चाहिँ I want to just start off with a disclaimer. Disclaimer भनेको चाहिँ अब यो views जुन चाहिँ म express गर्दैछु आज यो चाहिँ मेरै आफ्नो personal views हो. अब यो comprehensive होइन. मतलब टकटुक मैले बुझेर सम्झेर त्यो गरेको होइन. जो मेरो भ्यूज छ व्यक्तिगत भ्यूज त्यो मात्रै म तपाईलाई यो प्रेजेन्ट गर्दैछु. यो मेरो आफ्नो भ्यू हो, सब्जेक्टिभ हो. मतलब अरूसँग अब मिल्छ मिल्दैन आइ एम नट स्योर. अन्त अब यसमा चाहिँ हामी चर्चा गर्न सक्छौँ एट द एन्ड डिस्कसन सकेर. अर्बन प्लानिङ भनेको चाहिँ मैले भनेको अर्बन डिजाइनको त्यसमा we can understand it with that. Okay, so what makes a city? पहिला चाहिँ अब what is a city? It's going to be a lot in English, guys, so please don't mind also. Try the गर्छु. A city is a group of people and a number of permanent structures within a limited geographical area. So organized.
तपाईको स्क्रिन स्टप भयो कि ल?
ए
फेरि अहिले स्क्रिन देखेकै छैन तपाईको.
Okay. यहाँबाट त प्रेजेन्ट गरेकै जस्तो छ त अलि देख्नु हुँदैछ
हजुर भिजिबल छैन अहिले
भिजिबल छैन Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'll do it again. Share screen. Share full screen. No? Could you see what I shared before? Okay. Could you see this now? Can you see this? This?
म मिटिङमा छु म अहिले म मिटिङमा छु ल
Oh man, what's going on? Can't share screen.
या सन्जय
म चाहिँ यहाँबाट गएर allow to share window, allow to share screen. So earlier I did this. Oh. There is some problem.
हामीलाई अलिकति उयो हुन्छ होला कि हामी यदि उपेन्द्र दा रेडी हुनुहुन्छ भने उहाँले गर्दै गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ सरले
हुन्छ
गरिदिनुहुन्छ होला
Let's try that.
प्रशान्त लाइक आई वुड सजेस्ट तपाईँले अझै एकखेप ट्राई गरिदिनुहोस् सेयर गरेर नि there'll be this thing हुन्छ नि on your right hand side there'll be a window saying that you can share your entire screen भनेर नि
I did. It says, allow to share window, allow to share screen, or don't allow. So I say allow to share screen.
Yeah.
And then I go here.
हजुर
So do you see anything?
No, we don't see it. Or maybe like the window on which your applications open, like तपाईँले कुन चाहिँ अब PowerPoint use गर्नुहुँदैछ कि के use गर्नुहुँदैछ. So maybe you can do that. Share that particular window only. Because अघि त्यो चाहिँ हुँदै थियो तपाईँको ब्राउजर चाहिँ शेयर हुँदै थियो.
एकछिन चाहिँ एकछिन है. Select Safari settings for the website. I have like this is Google. All my settings are fine. I'll try to join this link from a different app. I'll just try to.
के छैन so just भइहाल्छ small thing.
Just bear with us.
Yeah. Prashant, otherwise you want to try disconnecting and connecting again? Yes, we can see your screen now. Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah. Prashant, you're on mute.
What makes a city? You can see this.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so buildings make a city. Public spaces, it is the living room of the city. So streets make a city. City ma के components and landscape makes a city. So there's a great urban planner called Kevin Lynch. He was a American author, urban planner during mid-90s, and he was very much sort of looking at city from a human scale point of view, from a human point of view. And the एउटा किताब जस्तो लेख्नु भएको थियो जहाँ चाहिँ अब there's something called image of the city, where त्यो सिटीमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ he had said सिटीमा चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ paths हुन्छ, बाटोहरू, then next edges हुन्छ, then district, nodes, and landmarks. So these are the things that make a city. But right now, I think we should be concerned कि what makes a great city. So मैले चाहिँ एउटा अलिकति रिसर्च गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ किन्डर इन्स्टिट्युट फर अर्बन रिसर्चको एउटा आर्टिकल भेटेको थिएँ. त्यसमा what makes a great city मा चाहिँ great public spaces make a great city. So there are 6 rules. त्यो चाहिँ अब what makes a great city भनेको एउटा किताब रहेछ. And there's somebody called Ryan Hollywell. He has analyzed Alexander Garvin's book on great public spaces making great cities. So what should be the definition of great cities? It should be open to everyone, anyone. It's very inclusive. मतलब सबैको लागि सबैलाई include गर्नु सक्ने चाहिँ एउटा great city को चाहिँ त्यो एउटा quality हुन्छ. It has something for everyone. सबैको लागि केही न केही चीज चाहिँ हुन्छ त्यो सिटीमा चाहिँ, ठुलो सिटीमा, ग्रेट सिटीमा, not ठुलो but great सिटीमा चाहिँ. The Jane Jacobs भने चाहिँ she was a very important person for looking at the city from a different perspective, and she has said that cities have the capability of providing something for everybody only when they are created by everybody, then they can be for everybody. It can attract and maintain demand. An attractive place will draw people from near and far. So त्यसमा चाहिँ अब we don't have to wait for other people to make something attractive भन्नुहुँदैछ. यो त्यसमा चाहिँ हामी आफै त्यसलाई attractive बनाउन सक्छौँ. It is our responsibility to make it attractive. It needs a framework for urbanization to allow for surrounding development. मतलब जहाँ चाहिँ हामीले इनिशियल हाम्रो स्ट्रिटको प्याटर्नहरू बनाएको छौँ त्यो नै एकदम अब राम्रो छ भने चाहिँ त्यो नै हामी एक्सप्यान्ड गर्न सक्छौँ अनि त्यसले हाम्रो सिटीलाई चाहिँ राम्रो बनाउँछ. It needs to be sustainable हामी सबै बुझ्छौँ, and a livable environment. It needs to nurture a civil society. मतलब हामी सबै सँगै मिलेर to live in parity with everyone. So what makes a great city मा चाहिँ great public spaces make a great city. But what makes great public space? त्यसमा चाहिँ फेरि मैले एउटा small research गरेर चाहिँ एउटा यस्तो एउटा के अरे site research मा मैले पाएर what makes a great public space मा it should have access and linkages, comfort and image, uses and activities, and it should be sociable. So when we talk about access and linkages, त्यसमा एउटा यो बाहिरको जुन चाहिँ सर्कल छ त्यसमा चाहिँ ट्राफिक डेटा, मोड स्प्लिट्स, त्यो चाहिँ it is giving you the data to inform you कस्तो चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ सिटी छ र पब्लिक स्पेस छ. त्यो पब्लिक स्पेस चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्टिन्युटी हुनुपर्छ, त्यसमा प्रोक्सिमिटी हुनुपर्छ, कनेक्टेड रिडेबल वकेबल हिँडेर जहाँ जानु छ त्यो चाहिँ हामी हिँडेरै पुग्नु सक्छ भनेर त्यस्तो हुनुपर्छ कन्भिनियन्ट हुनुपर्छ एक्सेसिबल हुनुपर्छ अन्त जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो यो ब्यारियर इन्टु पब्लिक युजमा बनाउनु पर्ने कार्स आर a hindrance to this, so make cars polite guests, make the most out of transit hubs. So, यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो we have done a few projects. I would also like to show, गरेको यो प्रोजेक्ट्सहरू एउटा प्रोजेक्ट नाम्चीमा छ किसान बजार त्यो हामीले अर्बन डेभलपमेन्ट डिपार्टमेन्टको लागि गरेको थियौँ नाम्ची हामीले थाहै छ कहाँ छ सो यो नाम्चीको हाम्रो साइट चाहिँ एक्चुअली डिसी अफिस र सेन्ट्रल पार्कको बिचमा थियो त्यसमा प्रोग्राममा चाहिँ के छ भने किसान बजारमा एउटा स्टोरेज हुनु पर्यो शप्स एन्ड डिस्प्ले हुनु पर्यो पार्किङ हुनु पर्यो र रेस्टुरेन्ट एन्ड क्याफे भनेर चाहिँ हामीले सोचेको थियौँ यस्तो हुनुपर्छ भनेर मेन चिज चाहिँ यसको पब्लिक स्पेस जुन चाहिँ छ त्यो पब्लिक स्पेस जहाँ सेन्ट्रल पार्कमा छ त्यो चाहिँ हामीले हाम्रो बिल्डिङमा ट्राई गरेको थियौँ कि ल्याउनु भनेर बिल्डिङको डिजाइन चाहिँ अब कोल्ड स्टोरेज छ शप्स एन्ड डिस्प्ले र पार्किङ यसरी यो यसलाई चाहिँ सेक्सन भन्छ आर्किटेक्चरल सेक्सनमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मुनिबाट कोल्ड स्टोरेज छ बिचमा हाम्रो शपिङ एरिया छ र बाहिरपट्टि चाहिँ हाम्रो पार्किङ छ यसको ग्राउन्ड फ्लोरमा चाहिँ चारैतिर पार्किङ छ नेक्स्ट फ्लोर पनि पार्किङ थर्ड फ्लोरमा चाहिँ पार्किङ र शपिङ मिक्स हुनेछ र यसो गर्दा गर्दै चाहिँ हामी अप्पर लेभल र लोवर लेभल चाहिँ हामी कनेक्ट गर्न सक्ने थियौँ यो बिल्डिङको थ्रु टपमा चाहिँ हामीले अफिसेस र कमर्सियल हामीले प्लान गरेको थियौँ यो बिल्डिङको जुन चाहिँ टप छ त्यसमा चाहिँ हामीले वी हेड प्लान्ड लट अफ टेरेसेस एन्ड गार्डन्स एन्ड पब्लिक एरिया अन टप अफ दिस जुन चाहिँ हामीले वाट एभर वी सी अराउन्ड अस इट इज अल स्लोपिङ रुफ्स त्यो चाहिँ हामीले चेन्ज गरेर चाहिँ यसमा हामीले फ्ल्याट रुफ गरेर पब्लिक स्पेस चाहिँ वी आर प्लान्ड अन टप अफ द्याट अल्सो हामीले चाहिँ यो गरेको थियौँ कि द upper road and the lower road could be connected through the building. So we are also thought कि हाम्रो buildingsहरू छ जुन चाहिँ which has Sikkimese character र एउटा के अरे युटिलिटी भएको बिल्डिङमा चाहिँ हामीले त्यसलाई मर्ज गरेर चाहिँ एउटा डिफ्रेन्ट टाइप अफ टाइपोलोजी आर्किटेक्चरल टाइपोलोजी हामीले ट्राई गरेको थियौँ टु क्रिएट यो अब कन्स्ट्रक्सनको भ्यूजहरू एक दुईवटा अन्डर कन्स्ट्रक्सन यु क्यान सी अब स्केल चाहिँ कस्तो छ भनेर बाँकीको बिल्डिङहरू कत्रो छ र यो बिल्डिङ चाहिँ अब निकै ठुलो नै भयो त्यो नाम्चीको लागि तर फाइनली यो बिल्डिङ सकेर चाहिँ इट्स लुकिङ लाइक दिस सो मलाई चाहिँ अब त्यति मलाई आइडिया भयो कि मतलब नट एभ्रिथिङ यु प्लान can actually be executed, especially in a government project. यो चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टको प्रोजेक्ट थियो त्यसमा अब धेरै नै चिज आउँछ बिचबिचमा सो वी कुड नट गेट इट एक्जिक्युटेड एक्ज्याक्टली वाट वी वान्टेड सो नेक्स्ट स्टेप अन वाट मेक्स अ ग्रेट पब्लिक स्पेस इज कम्फर्ट एन्ड इमेज एउटा पब्लिक स्पेसमा चाहिँ अब सेफ हुनुपर्छ क्लिन ग्रिन वकेबल सिटेबल स्पिरिचुअल चार्मिङ एट्र्याक्टिभ हिस्टोरिक हुनुपर्छ the different questions you should ask and consider on comfort and image. So some of you may know that this is MG mark पहिला 2000 भन्दा पहिलाको MG mark चाहिँ यस्तो हुन्थ्यो हामी आर्किटेक्ट्स अफ सिक्किमले चाहिँ 2001 मा ग्याङटोक 2001 एउटा सort of एक्जिबिसन वर्कसपहरू गरेको थियौँ त्यसमा हामीले अलग अलग जग्गामा प्रोजेक्ट्सहरू गरेको थियौँ एउटा चाहिँ त्यस्तै एमजी मार्ग भन्ने प्रोजेक्ट थियो त्यसमा चाहिँ अब साह्रै नै प्रब्लम थियो त्यति बेला एमजी मार्ग मतलब हाम्रो एकदम सेन्टर थियो सिटीको सेन्टर तर त्यसमा चाहिँ अब गाडीले नै भरिसकेको थियो टकटुक गाडीले भरिसकेको थियो सो त्यति बेला ट्राफिक पनि पुरा हुन्थ्यो सो हामीले एउटा त्यसमा स्टडी गर्यौँ कि यो एमजी मार्गमा चाहिँ मान्छे कति छ र गाडी कति छ अन्त गाडीभित्र मान्छे कति छ हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ 27% चाहिँ हामीले हेऱ्यौँ कि गाडीमा हुने मान्छेहरू चाहिँ 27% मात्रै हो र बाहिर हिँड्ने मान्छे चाहिँ 63% हो एरिया हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले त्यो स्टडी गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलमोस्ट 85% त्यो चाहिँ गाडीको लागि मात्रै थियो त्यो एमजी मार्गको एरिया चाहिँ ड्राइभिङ एरिया पार्किङ एरिया फुटपाथ हेरेर सो हामीले एउटा प्रपोजल गरेको थियौँ त्यो एमजी मार्ग चाहिँ पेडेस्ट्रियन बनाउने भनेर अन्त त्यो प्रपोजल चाहिँ अलग अलग स्टेजमा थियो स्टेज 1 मा चाहिँ अब गाडी नरोक्नु पाउने बट जस्ट ड्राइभ थ्रु भनेर त्यो एउटा प्रपोज गरेको थियौँ सेकेन्डमा चाहिँ गाडी जस्ट ड्राइभ थ्रु नो पार्किङ बट एउटा लाइनमा मात्रै पार्किङ के अरे ड्राइभ थ्रु गर्ने अनि थर्ड स्टेजमा चाहिँ गाडी टाकटुकै बन्द गर्ने भनेर हामीले प्रपोज गरेको थियौँ तर अब पोलिटिकल विल हुँदाखेरि त्यो फटाफट हुँदो रहेछ अन्त यो अब हामीले त वी डिड नट डिजाइन इट तर वी आर भेरी ह्याप्पी कि यो चाहिँ भयो भनेर कि मतलब एमजी मार्ग चाहिँ पेडेस्ट्रियन भयो अब यो गान्तोकको लागि चाहिँ इट्स अ ह्युज प्लस पोइन्ट फर पब्लिक स्पेस एमजी मार्ग जस्तो चाहिँ अब मान्छे कहाँबाट आएर हेर्छ स्टडी गर्छ कि एमजी मार्ग चाहिँ कस्तो बनेछ के छ कस्तो जग्गा रहेछ भनेर नेक्स्ट स्टेपमा चाहिँ अब युजर्स एन्ड एक्टिभिटिजमा अब पब्लिक स्पेस चाहिँ के हुनुपर्छ भनेर इट सुड बी फन एक्टिभ भाइटल स्पेसल रियल युजफुल इन्डिजिनियस सेलिब्रेटरी सस्टेनेबल सो पहिला चाहिँ वी सुड डिफाइन द युज एन्ड डिजाइन आफ्टर द्याट हाम्रो अर्को प्रोजेक्ट छ एउटा नामनाङ वकवे भनेर त्यो नामनाङ वकवे चाहिँ हामीले कुन प्रकारले डिजाइन गरेको थियौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले पहिला चाहिँ आइडेन्टिफाई गऱ्यौँ कि कहाँ अलग अलग कन्डिसन छ नामनाङमा त्यसलाई हामीले एउटा स्टडी र डकुमेन्ट गरेर वी आइडेन्टिफाइड कि प्रब्लम चाहिँ के छ एउटा न्यारो रोड छ एउटा एकदम हेभी ट्राफिक छ सो रोड वाइडनिङ एन्ड रिटेनिङ वाल फर प्रोटेक्सन त्यसमा हाम्रो वकवे चाहिँ भएकै रोडमा चाहिँ नभएर त्यसमा चाहिँ क्यान्टिलिभर कि बाहिरपट्टि गएर स्टिलको स्ट्रक्चरल सपोर्ट गरेर चाहिँ पेडेस्ट्रियन वकवे त्यो वकवेबाट चाहिँ त्यो रोडबाट चाहिँ बाहिर हुने भनेर सोचेको थियौँ अन्त मलाई एउटा प्रब्लम चाहिँ साह्रै बेसी लाग्छ कि गान्तोकको बाटोमा हिँड्दाखेरि कि कहीँ पनि अब पानी त पुरै पर्छ गान्तोकमा सो त्यो छाता माथि ल्याउनु कि तल ल्याउनु भन्दाखेरि इट्स अ भेरी कन्जेस्टेड रोड सो मैले चाहिँ यो प्रपोज गरेको थिएँ कि एउटा कभर्ड वकवे गरिदिउँ भनेर अन्त उहाँहरूले पनि अब अप्रुभ नै गर्नुभयो कि ठिकै छ भनेर सो यो हामीले लोकेसन एमा चाहिँ यो प्रकारले प्रपोज गरेको थियौँ लोकेसन बीमा चाहिँ हामीले सोचेको थियौँ कि एउटा रेस्टुरेन्ट गरिदिउँ भनेर लोकेसन सीमा वकवे र एउटा स्काई वक गर्ने प्लान थियो लोकेसन डीमा एउटा सानो गार्डन जस्तो एन्ड लोकेसन ईमा चाहिँ हामीले सोचेको थियौँ कि यहाँ चाहिँ पब्लिक स्पेस देउराली बजारको लागि एउटा पब्लिक स्पेस जस्तो चाहिँ होस् भनेर अन्त यो पनि अब आफ्टर लट अफ डिफिकल्टी यो प्रोजेक्ट अब सक्सेसफुल त भनौँ होला बिकज इट्स कन्स्ट्रक्टेड अन्त धेरै मान्छे यसको मतलब युज पनि गर्नुहुन्छ र यो पब्लिक स्पेस अब आई डोन्ट नो उहाँहरूले कति युज गर्नुहुन्छ पब्लिक स्पेसको बेसिसमा सो फाइनली सोसिएबिलिटी आउँदैछ सोसिएबिलिटीमा चाहिँ के हुनुपर्छ भने पब्लिक स्पेस र सिटी चाहिँ के हुनुपर्छ भने इट सुड बी वेलकमिङ इन्टरेक्टिभ फ्रेन्डली इट सुड बी प्राइड नेबरली र कोअपरेटिभ स्टुवर्डसिप डाइभर्स हुनु पर्यो सो पब्लिक स्पेसमा चाहिँ हामीले एउटा प्रोजेक्ट गरेको थियौँ त्यो चाहिँ एउटा स्लम अपग्रेडेसन भनेर एज पार्ट अफ राजीव आवास योजना त्यो चाहिँ आई वाज इन्भल्भ विथ समथिङ कल्ड क्योर सेन्टर फर अर्बन एन्ड रुरल एक्सलेन्स भनेर त्यसमा वी आर ट्राइङ टु सी यो स्लम्सहरू चाहिँ कसरी इट क्यान बी अपलिफ्टेड एन्ड ब्रट इन्टु द फर्मल सिस्टम सो त्यो स्लम्समा चाहिँ भानुग्राम भन्ने डिपिएचको एकदम छेउमा जहाँ धोबीहरू बस्छ त्यो एरिया चाहिँ हामीले आइडेन्टिफाई गरेको थियौँ टु मेक द पाइलट प्रोजेक्ट यो तपाईले पल्जर स्टेडियम देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ त्यसकै छेउमा चाहिँ यो भानुग्राम हो भानुग्राममा there are 3 parts to it part 1 part 2 part 3 part 1 मा चाहिँ सबै पक्का हाउसेस हो we had nothing to do there part 2 मा चाहिँ सेमी पक्का र सेमी कच्चा हाउसेस थियो र part 3 मा चाहिँ they were all कच्चा हाउसेस एउटा राम्रो मतलब पब्लिक इन्टरेक्सन भएको थियो कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेसन जनता भवनमा where we could identify उहाँको प्रब्लम्स चाहिँ के थियो भनेर सो पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेसन वाज पार्ट एन्ड पार्सल अफ द प्रपोजल यो चाहिँ भानुग्राम हो अन्त यो स्लाइडमा चाहिँ अब वी क्यान सी कि वाइ देयर इज नथिङ बिल्ट बिलो भानुग्राम नि बिकज द्याट होल ल्यान्ड इज भेरी फ्रेजाइल त्यो एन्टायर एरिया चाहिँ जियोग्राफिकली र जियोलोजिकली इज भेरी फ्रेजाइल एज भेरी फ्रेजाइल बिकज अफ the jhodas going on either side carrying a lot of water and the quality of the land is very unstable so हामीले propose गरेको थियौं कि zone for new housing चाहिँ एक जग्गा हुनु पर्ने area to be left vacant र area for intervention यहाँ हुने design of the unit चाहिँ यस्तो थियो L shape थियो जहाँ enter गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा living unit त्यसको छेउमा चाहिँ डाइनिङ र बेडरुम यो हामीले प्रपोज गरेको थियो 1 युनिटको लागि दुईटा युनिट यसरी हुने थियो र चारटा युनिट यसो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा प्राइभेट गार्डन र एउटा पब्लिक स्पेस फर 4 युनिट्स चाहिँ यहाँ बीचमा हुने थियो सो जुन चाहिँ स्ट्रक्चर चाहिँ जो झोडालाई स्ट्रक्चर के स्ट्रेन्थन गर्ने थियो त्यही स्ट्रक्चरले चाहिँ यो हाम्रो हाउसेस इट वुड बी द स्ट्रक्चर फर द हाउसेस सो हामीले चाहिँ यही प्रपोज गरेको थियौं सो पब्लिक स्पेस चाहिँ सबै बीचमा यो हाउसेसको बीचमा र त्यो दुईटै लाइनको बीचमा चाहिँ हामीले पब्लिक स्पेस प्रपोज गरेको थियौं सो व्हाट मेक्स अ ग्रेट पब्लिक स्पेस हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ all kinds of factors अर्को चीज चाहिँ मलाई एउटा निकै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ जुन चाहिँ लाग्यो that is that a great city should be a walkable city नि So, एउटा blogमा मैले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ a 15-minute city is very interesting. Everything we need must be within 15-minute walking distance or biking distance. अन्त जति हाम्रो डिस्टेन्स भयो जहाँ हामीले कम्युट गर्नुपर्छ त्यति हाम्रो जब सेटिस्फ्याक्सन मेन्टल हेल्थ र फिजिकल स्ट्रेनमा एकदम इफेक्ट पर्दो रहेछ सो वी शुड क्रिएट अ सिटी विच इज भेरी इजिली एक्सेसिबल सो त्यो अलिकति समराइज गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ what makes a great city so great public spaces make great cities this 15-minute walking city to reduce cars make a great city making places for people मान्छेको लागि हामी सहर बनाउँछौँ that is important Gangtokमा what is already working what is good in Gangtok public space that works in Gangtok. That MG Mark is it's a thriving area. What makes Gangtok great is also this continuous pedestrian walkway. Gangtok माथि 0 point देखि रानीपुलसम्म यो जुन चाहिँ walkway छ यो मान्छेहरू बाहिर अरु सिटीजबाट आएर यो पढ्नु मतलब स्टडी गर्नु उनीहरुलाई मतलब they find it interesting. They find it important to see कि हामीले चाहिँ कुन पाराले यो गरेको छौं so this is one of our important facets Gangtok को स्टडी गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो एउटा सेन्ट्रलाइज्ड फोकल पॉइन्ट छ Gangtok जहाँ चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्ट अफिसेस होटल्स स्कुल्स कमर्शियल एउटा एन्ट्री पोइन्ट छ one entry point रानीपुल one connecting route जहाँ चाहिँ there's everything feeding into that So I feel that Gangtok has one big problem, which is causing extreme densification. I think a problem, extreme densification. There's a culture of congestion, and there is a depletion in the quality of life. We experience this every time, every day, traffic jam. And we have also seen Gangtok has become Jamtok. So the question is, how do we live with this current situation? Because we can't undo what has already been done. जे भइसक्यो अब त्यो त भइसक्यो नि त्यसलाई त अब undo त गर्न सक्दैनौँ र how do we make the future better for the city? How can we still make Gangtok great? Some of the questions we have to ask. यो चाहिँ अब फेरि एउटा 4 stage proposal मैले एउटा propose गरेको छु. Again, this is my own personal view. So first stage मा चाहिँ हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ एकदम congested area छ त्यो चाहिँ माथि रिज देखि तल पाल्जो स्टेडियम नामनाङ यो एरिया छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामी एउटा इनर सिटी घोषित गरिदियौँ. प्रपोज द्याट एज अ inner city. So this becomes inner city. On the right hand side, Namnang, त्यहाँबाट माथि जाँदाखेरि टासिलिङ सेक्रेटेरिएट, चुक्लाखाङ ब्रिज, व्हाइट हल, टिएनए, 0 point DHH, पाल्जो स्टेडियम, वेस्ट पोइन्ट यसो गरेर यो टकटुक एरिया चाहिँ हामी यसलाई इनर सिटी प्रपोज गरौँ. अर्बन डेन्सिटी इज अ गुड थिङ प्रोभाइडेड इट्स म्यानेज्ड. मतलब हामीले मान्छे हामीलाई चाहियो, मतलब हामी सबै एक्लै बस्न सक्दैनौँ, सबै मिलेर बस्नुपर्छ, तर अलिकति डिजाइन र म्यानेज भएको त्यसमा यो इनर सिटीलाई चाहिँ हामी वी क्यान मेक इट अ हिस्टोरिकल सिटी सेन्टर. द एन्टायर इनर सिटी टु बी डेजिग्नेटेड एज अ हिस्टोरिकल सिटी सेन्टर, अ प्लेस फर कल्चरल इन्स्टिट्युसन्स and vibrant public space for locals and tourists. This is what we already have, cultural institutions within the inner city of Gangtok. Our palace cha, Chuklakhang Monastery cha, Rich Park cha, DHS cha, White Hall, flower exhibition, flower show ko. We have to create a walking city and a culture for walking within the city. There's somebody called Jeff Speck. He's a city planner who advocates internationally for more walkable cities. So उहाँले चाहिँ भन्नुहुन्छ कि एउटा TED talk मैले देखेको थिएँ where he says कि if there are 4 ways to make a city more walkable. There should be a reason to walk, it should be safe and feel safe, it should be comfortable and interesting. All this we have in Gangtok. Especially in the inner city, we have all these attributes. But people find it easier to walk on flat or gentle slopes rather than on steep slopes. It has to be relatively flat to encourage people to walk. So your inner city mein this is NH10. NH10 bada, this is one flat area, MG Mark Naya Bazar ko. The other flat area is from 0 point हामीले सिधा गयो भने चाहिँ यो एरिया चाहिँ हाम्रो फ्ल्याट एरिया छ र काजी रोड र टिबेट रोड चाहिँ हाम्रो कनेक्टिङ पोइन्ट्स भयो. यो हामीले कनेक्ट गर्न सक्यो भने चाहिँ वी क्यान क्रिएट अ भेरी सिम्पल वकिङ सिटी इनसाइड आवर इनर सिटी. दिज आर भ्यूज अफ अर्को चाहिँ वी शुड कन्सिडर अल इनर सिटी टु बी अ पब्लिक स्पेस. त्यो इनर सिटीमा चाहिँ हामीले टुरिज्ममा बुटिक होटल, बजेट होटल, hostels, tourist information center. From cultural standpoint, we should have museum, art galleries, library, monuments. They're already being designed. Leisure ma public space, parks and gardens. Commercial ma shops, malls, nightclubs, bars, cafe, restaurants. It's already happening. If we are more concerted, then maybe we can do something better with this. Infrastructure ma, pedestrian walkways, we already have. Funiculars and lifts. I'll explain a little later what funiculars is. Parking in the periphery, transit hubs. That's the design garnu paryo. Second stage ma, I will not explain so much, but basically, त्यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ city छ त्यसमा one of the primary causes of traffic jams is government offices being located in the heart of the city. People have to traverse through the city to get to work or visit, regardless of where they come from. So we should reduce the need to commute. So we should move offices out. अब यो कसरी हुन्छ कसरी हुन सक्दैन आई एम नट रियली स्योर तर मेरो पर्सनल भ्यूमा चाहिँ वी शुड आइडेन्टिफाई लोकेसन्स आउट अफ द सिटी सेन्टर एन्ड लोकेट गभर्मेन्ट अफिसेस अब मान्छेहरू कहाँ कहाँ बस्तीबाट आएको हुन्छ कहाँबाट आएको हुन्छ डाइरेक्टली होल ग्याङटोकको थ्रुबाट नगरे चाहिँ हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ गभर्मेन्ट अफिसेस छ त्यो चाहिँ बाहिर बाहिर नै हामीले राख्यो भने चाहिँ उनीहरू डाइरेक्टली भित्र ग्याङटोक पस्नु परेन बाहिर बाहिर नै दे क्यान बी त्यहाँ भेटेर उहाँको बस्ती पनि फर्किन सक्नुहुन्छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो आइडिया छ थर्ड पोइन्ट जुन चाहिँ छ त्यो चाहिँ के हो भने हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ ग्याङटोक अब सिटी छ त्यसमा चाहिँ वी हेभ अल दिस रोड नेटवर्क वी हेभ दिस वान रोड गोइङ टु रुमतेकबाट तल रेसिथाङ जाने बाटो अर्को बाटो चाहिँ लुइङ जाने बाटो छ सो the idea is to create residential pockets of development that are self-sufficient in topographically suitable areas. So, घर residential areas चाहिँ हामीले बाहिर लिएर गयौँ भने चाहिँ एउटा community living हामी गर्न सक्छौँ. We should create urban villages outside Gangtok. मैले एउटा प्रोजेक्ट गरेको थिएँ थिम्पू को जुन चाहिँ स्ट्रक्चरल प्लान छ त्यो मैले पढेको थिएँ त्यसमा आई फाउन्ड समथिङ भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ त्यो उहाँको स्ट्रक्चर प्लानमा चाहिँ के छ भने द कन्सेप्ट प्लान सिज थिम्पू एज अ सिस्टम अफ कम्युनिटिज देयर आर फ्यामिली कम्युनिटिज नेबरहुड कम्युनिटिज सिटी कम्युनिटिज स्पेशलाइज कम्युनिटिज अफ इन्ट्रेस्ट ग्रुप्स विदिन द सिटी एन्ड देयर आर नेसनल कम्युनिटी all these communities fit into an urban hierarchy in a manner similar to the way Russian dolls fit into one another. The most essential community is the neighborhood community in an urban village. Each neighborhood would have a node, which would be like a traditional village center. It would have a small park with a toddler's play area. It would have a newsstand, a clinic, provision shop, barber, neighborhood pub, bakery, laundry, and convenience shops. These would be a vibrant node where mothers can take a break between the day and saunter down and meet friends and do a little shopping. It would be linked to the pedestrian walkway. The park would abut the transport station so that alighting passengers could relax and do some shopping on the way home from work. The parking area would also be attached so that the shopping can be more pedestrianized and the node and the transport station can use the facility together. मैले के भन्नु चाहेको भने चाहिँ हामी जुन चाहिँ ग्याङटोकको यो लुइङ रोड र यो रुमतेक रोडमा चाहिँ इफ वी क्यान आइडेन्टिफाई 10-12 एकरको जमिन पार्सल्स एन्ड एट स्ट्रेटेजिक लोकेसन्स अराउन्ड द पेरिफेरल एन्ड दिस पेरिफेरल रोड्स कनेक्ट टु द सिटी सेन्टर along with that we identify 5-6 acres as small villages within this so that we can live in a kind of a neighborhood environment so they can have kind of like a public space जुन चाहिँ public space हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ बस्तीको village like environment मा हामी गर्न सक्छौँ integration of infrastructure with public space जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो कम्युनिटी लिभिङ छ हामी अब तल रानी खोला छ त्यसमा वाटर फ्रन्ट डेभलपमेन्ट छ त्यो पनि हामी गर्न सक्छौँ हामी रेसिडेन्शियलमा चाहिँ सिंगल फ्यामिली होम मल्टी फ्यामिली हाउसिङ होम स्टेज कल्चरमा स्कुल्स कलेजेस आर्ट ग्यालरिज लाइब्रेरी लेजरमा पब्लिक स्पेसेस and infrastructure ma pedestrian walkways, funiculars and lifts and parking. So why we need to create a village? Kina village bhandakheri chai it is a manageable entity. I mean thulo like big cities is very difficult to design, manage and implement also. Tyo ekdamai saro cha that too many there's too much complexity. So urban village chai alikati sano manageable and with a decent level of density त्यो गर्नु सक्यो भने चाहिँ we can create a community which is living along a hill with small scale commercial retail establishments यस्तो मतलब residential area ma we can have small markets also like this र फोर्थ स्टेज चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने यो पनि म साह्रो डिटेलमा गर्दिनँ बिकज इट्स कनेक्टेड टु वाट उपी विल टक अबाउट. This is connect the dots, which is design and effective connectivity. So effective connectivity भनेको चाहिँ in all these small villages र main inner city मा चाहिँ हामीले कनेक्ट गर्न सक्दाखेरि चाहिँ we can use cable cars, we can use funiculars. This is what a funicular is, or buses, and connect them. So to summarize, my proposal is that we create an inner city, we move the offices out, create urban villages, and design effective connectivity. Okay, thank you.
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच सर. एकदमै मजाले तपाईँले प्रेजेन्टेसन राखिदिनु भयो र तपाईँसँग हामी फेरि बादमा पनि आउनेछौँ केही प्रश्नहरू लिएर. साथै जति पनि तपाईँहरू भ्युवर्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ तपाईँहरूको पनि केही क्वेसन्सहरू छ या त केही पनि तपाईँहरूले यो विषयमा राख्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने सहरी श्रृङ्खला हाम्रो चलिरहेको छ मञ्चको, यसमा केही विषयहरू तपाईँले राख्न चाहनुहुन्छ या त केही क्वेसनहरू हाम्रो स्पिकर्सहरूलाई सोध्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने तपाईँले स्पिकरहरू बात गरिसक्नु भएर र उहाँहरूलाई कोही क्वेसनहरू हामीले पनि प्रिपेयर गरेका छौँ, त्यो क्वेसन्सहरू बादमा चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले पनि सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ. त्यसको लागि तपाईँहरूले होइन भने फेसबुकमा जसले पनि हेर्नुहुँदैछ तपाईँहरूले पनि फेसबुकमा पनि तपाईँहरूले कमेन्ट सेक्सनमा क्वेसन्सहरू टाइप गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. अनि यही पनि मेसेज बक्समा पनि तपाईँहरूले आफ्नो क्वेसन्सहरू छोड्न सक्नुहुन्छ. र अब कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाउँदै उपेन्द्र गुरुङ दाजुलाई आफ्नो प्रेजेन्टेसन राखिदिनु हुन अनुरोध गर्दछु. उपिदा सुन्नुहुँदैछ?
हजुर हजुर. Thank you, Banu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Munch, and good evening, everyone. So today I'll probably talk about, I will talk about urban mobility and future possibilities in Gangtok. But before I start, I'd like to thank Prashant for a wonderful presentation and all the work that you've done and also executed them. And since you made a disclaimer, even I'm kind of obliged. So I'm not an urban planner. I'm just an architect. But I've been experiencing urban life, and I've worked with urban development department in the past. So I have some understanding, and these will be, like Prashant was saying, my views and my experience. I'll be sharing my experiences, and much of it has also come through a lot of discussions and deliberations with Kailashda. A lot of his ideas are also there, and also conversation with people in office, conversation. Generally conversationहरू गर्दाखेरि पनि निक्लेको चिजहरू हो. And मेरो अहिलेको प्रेजेन्टेसन चाहिँ, सरी म इङ्ग्लिसमा बोल्दै रहेछु कि, आई डिडन्ट रियलाइज. मेरो यो प्रेजेन्टेसन चाहिँ, मेरो स्कोप चाहिँ अर्बन मोबिलिटी पट्टि नै राख्ने. अहिले प्लानिङ त भर्खर प्रशान्त दाजुले कुरा गरिहाल्नु भयो. And also planning is a very complex and also huge subject to talk about in such a short span. So without further delay, I think I'll share my screen. And mo thali halnu paryo. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So, sorry. Keep going. Okay. It's very sensitive. Okay, so the topic that I'm going to speak today, say urban mobility and future possibilities in Gangtok, Banera. So just to begin with, I wanted to start with the word mobility itself. About mobility, when I could say, the ability to move or to be moved freely and easily. And as human beings, we are very much like mobile, and we are always on the move. And पहिलादेखि नै अब हेर्यो भने हामी we were hunter gatherers, and like so we have this innate thing in us, अब हाम्रो भित्रबाट नै अब त्यो छ that move गर्ने नि. And so हामी पहिला त निकै अब हन्ट गर्दै उयो गर्दै आफ्नो लाइफस्टाइल उयो गर्थ्यो. बट देन एभर सिन्स हामीले एग्रिकल्चर, लाइक when there was a birth of agriculture, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि it changed everything for us. And त्यसले गर्दाखेरि we had हाम्रोमा चाहिँ टाइम पनि बेसी थियो, हामीले घरहरू बनाउन सक्यो, and we could live in one place भनौँ न. And somehow over a period of time हामीले हाम्रो nomadic lifestyle चाहिँ give up गर्यौं है. And sorry, it's getting skipped key. Okay, so हामीले अब since agriculture गरेको देखिन then we had more time हैन. And then हामीले अब चीजहरु स्टोर गर्न सक्यो, फुडहरु स्टोर गर्न सक्यो, हामीले बिजनेस गर्न सक्यो, ट्रेड गर्न सक्यो, काम गर्न सक्यो. And at the same time हामीले धेरै चीजहरु इन्भेन्ट पनि गर्न सक्यो है. And obviously I mean naturally we started living together, and that kind of gave birth to the cities भनौं न, हामी जुन चाहिँ शहरीकरण भन्छौं हैन, or like जुन चाहिँ we अब yeah, we started living together. And हामीले हेर्यो भने अब सिटी एउटा अर्गानिजम जस्तै हो, तपाईको हुन्छ नि, त्यो जहिले पनि इट्स अलवेज डायनामिक. एन्ड त्यो जति ठुलो हुँदै गयो त्यति नै अझै अब त्यो सिटी ठुलो हुँदै हुँदै जान्छ, बिकज लाइक त्यसले रिसोर्सेस माग्छ, रिसोर्सेसको लागि अझै रिसोर्सेस चाहियो, मान्छे आउँदै जान्छ. सो त्यो एउटा साइक्लिक खालके इफेक्ट छ क्या. एन्ड त्यसले गर्दाखेरि धेरै ग्रोथहरू भइसक्यो एभ्रिवेयर, लाइक अल ओभर द वर्ल्ड. And cityमा obviously there are a lot of opportunities हैन, and आफ्नो personal growth को लागि, even like collective evolution को लागि. And there are a lot of opportunities, but then at the same time अगर हामीले properly त्यसलाई manage गर्न सकेन भने सिटीलाई धेरै अब chaos हुन्छ क्या. अब त्यो, and not just like अब physical chaos मात्रै हैन, जस्तै अब social environmental chaos पनि हुन सक्छ. अब this is like probably a sketch of पहिलाको cities हरु कस्तो हुन्थ्यो. त्यति बेला पनि तपाईको the streets and roads भन्ने चीज चाहिँ अब it is like एउटा a result of our living together हुन्छ नि. and यो streets र roads चाहिँ तपाईको एउटा त्यो living organism को चाहिँ एउटा नसाहरु जस्तै हो, तपाईको veins जस्तै हो हैन. And from a mobility एउटा point of view हामीले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मैले बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो streets र जुन चाहिँ roadsहरुले it has a vital role तपाईको हुन्छ नि, एउटा त्यो cityलाई कस्तो shape गर्ने. And it's also essential for its हाम्रो आफ्नै city को life and its growth है. And पहिलाको cities-हरु अब मा त्यो streets-हरु even today like अहिले पनि त्यो एकदमै vibrant हुन्छ. It's a place to trade, socialize है. So the streets are very important. But having said that, like अब ever since पहिला त अब त्यति सारो गाडीहरु थिएन होला, but like ever since we invented like wheel, and obviously हाम्रो त्यो ever since that त्यहाँदेखि त evolution नै भयो transportation को. So हाम्रो roads were kind of like it was given हुन्छ नि, it was formalized. And then at the same time अब गाडी पनि ठुलो हुँदै गयो, गाडी पनि बेसी हुँदै गयो, त्यहाँदेखि गाडीहरु मात्रै हैन, अब like various modes of transport. And त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब city को roadsहरु पनि अब wider and bigger हुँदै हुँदै गयो है तपाईको. त्यहाँदेखि as a result अहिले हाम्रो cities-हरु यस्तो देख्नु थाल्छ हैन. This is तपाईको एउटा Rome को ancient city of Rome को तपाईको map हो. यसमा you can see तपाईको roads-हरु how like it has defined, and in a way it has एउटा shaped the city भनौं न. And obviously much of it पहिला त it was haphazard होला, but obviously there were lot of interventions, and then पहिलाको cities-हरुमा चाहिँ अब obviously it was त्यो कतिवटा चिज चाहिँ एकदम strategically located हुन्थ्यो, कोही बेला rivers-हरु हुन्थ्यो, कोही बेला डिफेन्सको लागि गर्ने अब डिजाइन भएको हुन्थ्यो, अलिकति त्यो डिफेन्सको उयो हिसाबले हेरेर, or like cities used to settle भनौं न because of availability of resources. But in this case, like the river was one of the main thing, and the Tiber River, and the city center in this kind of like यस्तोमा चाहिँ के हुँदो रहेछ भन्दाखेरि त्यो सिटीको सेन्टरमा चाहिँ अब तपाईको मेन the empire is there, like all the offices are there, and then तपाईको त्यो rest of the city just grows around it हुन्छ नि. But like people quickly realize that roads and जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो यो streets र roadsहरु जुन चाहिँ पनि छ उनीहरु that it becomes like एउटा tool जस्तै क्या, अब त्यो एउटा underlying एउटा structure बनाउनुको लागि नि, and then त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो अलिकति order मा चाहिँ तपाईको human habitation चाहिँ grow हुन सक्छ है. And early on, like city planners, they recognize the importance of accessibility and ease of movement. So how can they effectively use this roads and streets to organize city and city infrastructure? And as about cities so the city was planned with streets and roads the priority ma rakhera kya tapeko. So this is a example of this is city of Barcelona. There's a it's an example of that grid pattern that I just showed you. So Titibela I think the medieval like city was it was very overcrowded, and then there was this planner. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna even attempt. So उहाँले अब त्यो light ventilation, overcrowding, sanitation हरु सबै हेरेर नै अब त्यो यो grid खालके pattern गरेर यो city लाई develop गर्नुभयो. And then also from a traffic flow point of view एउटा growth लाई manage गर्न सक्ने. And one of the things मैले पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ one of the के राम्रो लाग्यो भन्दाखेरि there was this social consideration also while planning this, किनभने यो चाहिँ तपाईको यस्तो प्रकारले प्याटर्न गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ तपाईले सबैजनाले नै light and ventilation पाइराको, then everyone has equal access to services and amenities, and that is all regardless of any social status and all that. So it's very like it organizes the city in a nice way, and then it has also this particular type of planning has also influenced a lot of planning in other cities. So similarly, India this was, I think, like post-independence, city of Chandigarh. So Swiss-French architect Le Corbusier design it is also considered like at that point of time a symbol of progress and modernity ko lagi. And यसमा चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि तपाईको each एउटा sector चाहिँ self-sufficient हुने क्या, अब त्यो तपाईले ग्रिडमा हेर्नु हुँदैछ भने. So each sector had his own एउटा आफ्नै मार्केट हुन्थ्यो, छ पनि अहिले पनि market, schools, then places of worship, and without the need reducing the need to travel तपाईको हुन्छ नि. अब त्यो एउटै सेक्टरमा सबै कुरा छ भने so बेसी travel गर्नु पर्दैन भनेर that was also there. And also a lot of it there was a lot of focus तपाईको on greenery and open spaces हुन्छ नि. And त्यो greenery and open spaces not just for the recreational ko lagi मात्रै हैन, but then also तपाईको climate, because it is very hot, and it gets very hot त्यहाँनिर, so it also like controls the तपाईको climate हुन्छ नि. And this city is also considered like a prime example of planning which is centered around people हुन्छ नि. And and it has had like tapeko significant impact on planning in India tapeko. So and यो यस्तोहरु गर्दाखेरि तपाईको अगर properly अगर तपाईको streets and roads have been planned, अगर त्यस्तो प्रकारले गरेछ भने तपाईको एउटा त्यो social and economic vibrancy पनि हुँदै रहेछ हुन्छ नि. So so and then of course there are many other ways that streets and roads can be organized, you know. And here's an example about your radial and concentric khalke road, and they have like a defining define garcha character or city ko ne character, and this often like they यो जति पनि स्ट्रीट्सहरु छ तपाईको एभेन्यूहरु छ दे रेडिएट आउट फ्रम एउटा सेन्ट्रल पोइन्ट्स हुन्छ नि अब अर लाइक एउटा ल्यान्डमार्कबाट अर हिस्टोरिकल साइट्सहरुबाट हैन. लाइक फर एक्जाम्पल तपाईको यो प्यारिसमा this is I think like planned around mid 18th century. So this was done obviously like for traffic flow and ease the congestion ease garnuko lagi, and also beautifying the city and tapeko light and air ventilation ल्याउनुको लागि. Right now it is like this at the moment, and it has brought like a lot of tapeko एउटा some sort of order to the city, एउटा architectural uniformity हरु पनि ल्याएको छ. But like it is also been criticized अब यति बेला अब like पहिला planning हरु गर्दाखेरि that it does not regard like the people who are already living over there हुन्छ नि. So this especially यहाँनिर पनि मैले हेर्दाखेरि like in when Paris मा यो planning गर्दाखेरि there were a lot of people, especially हाम्रो lower income like bracket भएको people who were living in the city center, they were displaced हुन्छ नि. So not all like planning tools are like uyo. So sometimes it has other implications which which is not like really highlighted banu now. And this is another case like tapeko in Delhi. This was I think early 1900s ma like plan gareko थियो. And this is like you can see in the diagram, it's very orderly tapeko, and at the same time it has very rigid hierarchy bhako jaste, although it has a lot of green and open spaces. Some of you might have visited this place, but it also has received a lot of flack for the fact that it is they say that it is not in tune with hamro existing fabric, hamro jun chai Delhi ko existing fabric, and also in a way tapeko yo jun chai hamro colonial ideologies haru cha, so that has been reflected in the planning bhanera pani bhandecha. And then the jun chai tapeko scale ma banneko cha yo, and then the jun chai style ma banneko cha, so it was alikati alien to hamro context, अब India को context मा भनौं न. So there's another kind of like development that happened, which is much like हामीले देखिरहने चीजहरु यिनीहरु. It's also तपाईलाई it's also called like either linear or ribbon development भन्छ हैन. So यो खालको development चाहिँ अलिकति जहाँनिर रोड आउँछ त्यहाँनिर अब habitation or grow garirako. So it happens by default tapeko huncha ni, and it happens because there is easy accessibility and tapeko it's closer to the road huncha ni. And since it's closer to the road, like it's really good for businesses रहेछ नि tapeko economic opportunity ko lagi. So there's more footfall and all that, eh? And tapeko, so if you see some examples of this, so Mathipati it's one of the towns bhanau na. I recently visited it's in Nepal highway ma cha. So त्यहाँनिर पनि if you see like development is happening along the road tapeko हुन्छ नि. And then यो मुनिपटि को चाहिँ tapeko Guwahati को उयो भएको. So you can clearly see तपाईको यो जहाँ रोड गएको छ त्यहाँनिर मज्जाले डेभलप भएको छ नि, अरु जग्गाहरु त्यति सारो त्यस्तो भएको छैन. सो यो खालके चाहिँ तपाईको रुरल एरियामा पनि हुन सक्छ, अर्बन एरियामा पनि हुन सक्छ हैन. एन्ड मैले भनिहालेँ त्यो इकोनोमिक फ्याक्टर्सहरूले गर्दाखेरि हुन्छ बट यस्तो खालकेमा चाहिँ तपाईँको देयर इज लट अफ ट्राफिक प्रब्लम्सहरू धेरै हुँदो रहेछ तपाईँको बिकज इट इज कन्सन्ट्रेटेड अन वान पर्टिकुलर रुट सो देयर इट लिड्स टु लट अफ अदर प्रब्लम्स एन्ड अगर प्लानिङ राम्रोसँगले गरेको छैन भने लाइक इट क्यान लिड टु लट अफ तपाईँको like a lot of problems also and also तपाईँलाई म्यानेज गर्नु पनि साह्रो पर्दो रहेछ है and this is something that happens everywhere in fact like even like to a large extent हाम्रो गान्तोक पनि त्यस्तै नै छ so त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि के हुँदो रहेछ देयर इज अ ग्रिड लक हैन अब त्यो रोड एक्सपान्ड पनि गर्नु सक्दैन अब दुईपट्टि बिल्डिङहरु आइसकेको हुन्छ and so and they say that like the road wide गर्दै गरे भने चाहिँ अब problem solve हुन्छ होला भनेर but actually like the more we've a lot of urbanists also talk about lot of like urban planners also talk about that जति ठुलो रोड गरे अब त्यति नै बेसी गाडी आउँदै रहेछ because people will buy more there'll be more traffic there'll be so that's not the solution like having flyovers or like widening the road generally is not like the best solution भनौं न it is a solution but it's not the best solution so and so that त्यसले गर्दाखेरि now new modes of transport like another about कि underground हुन्छ कि over like overhead हुन्छ कि so these kinds of like other modes of transport gets introduced है and like यो public transport भनौं न so and also यो हामीले जति पनि अहिले कुरा गरिरहेछ these are all like अब plains मा हुने like cities हरुकै कुरा गरिरहेछ नि so the possibilities जुन चाहिँ हुन्छ तपाईको यो plains मा त्यो expansion गर्ने both like horizontal and तपाईको vertical हुन्छ नि it's relatively easier I think but then having said that अब हाम्रो context is completely different है हाम्रो conditions are very different from the cities in the plains so and then also यसमा हाम्रो अर्को कुरा के थपिन्छ geology थपिन्छ climate थपिन्छ and हाम्रो यहाँनेर त flat जग्गा त पाउँदैन it's very very difficult to get flat lands हैन and यहाँनेर तपाईले हेर्नुभयो भने all this things which are curving up these are all roads and the roads have to wind हुन्छ नि like it has to take the तपाईको natural contour because एउटा certain gradient maintain गर्नुपर्छ क्या so जहाँनिर अलिअलि फ्ल्याट जग्गा पाउँछ त्यहाँनिर अब हामीले बिल्ड गर्नु थालिहाल्छ हैन so that's been the अब यो भनौं न that's been the default way of doing things so हाम्रो यहाँनिर पनि हेर्यो भने if you see there are a lot of like development that is happening तपाईको along the road हुन्छ नि along the highway and then also along like because हाम्रो highway is very close to the river so a lot of development is happening along the river also and also त्यहाँनिर हेर्यो भने generally त्यो valley मा almost like त्यो river को छेउमा land is relatively less steep compared to other parts of the mountain है so and now because of the incident that happened like a month back we've also realized like maybe a river ko chheuma to develop it in that way it's not the best way huncha ni it's not the best place huncha ni and because we also never had anticipated like a flooding like or event like cloth हैन अब but now these things are real about climate change around this these things are real so maybe it is time to rethink like हाम्रो पनि जुन चाहिँ development हुँदैछ अब यो along the river so it is time to rethink है and I'll just briefly talk about like just अर्को हाम्रो urban area which is Namchi हैन like next to Gangtok so Namchi पनि हेर्यो भने lot of this हाम्रो यहाँनिर टाउन्सहरु चाहिँ like the कस्तो प्रकारले एउटा ट्रेन्ड चाहिँ के रहेछ भन्दाखेरि अब like एउटा त जग्गा हैन एउटा जियोग्राफी अब where it is located तपाईको अब generally like त्यो डाँडा रिजहरुतिर त्यो अलिकति घाम आउने जग्गा घाम लाइक अलिकति भ्यू देख्ने जग्गातिर त्यो सानो सानो टाउन्सहरू अलरेडी लाइक त्यो फर्म हुँदै जाँदो रहेछ एन्ड अल्सो यो टाउनहरूमा किन फर्म हुँदो रहेछ भन्दाखेरि यो टाउनहरू किन त्यो भाइब्रेन्ट हुँदो रहेछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो धेरै जग्गाबाट तपाईँको रोडहरू भेट्दो रहेछ त्यहाँनिर इट बिकम्स अ जङ्सन हुन्छ नि सो यो जङ्सनहरू हुँदाखेरि इट बिकम्स लाइक अ प्लेस एउटा फर ट्रेडिङ अल्सो सो ट्रेडहरू हुने बित्तिकै एउटा मार्केट प्लेस जस्तो हुँदो रहेछ त्यहाँदेखि स्लोली बाई डिफल्ट इट स्टार्ट्स टु ग्रो रहेछ हुन्छ नि तपाईँको एन्ड नाउ अभियसली लाइक टुरिज्म भयो लाइक अल द भ्युज एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि झन् अब त्यहाँ मान्छे थपिँदै गयो होटल बनिँदै गयो सो इट्स गेटिङ बिगर ठुलो हुँदै जाँदैछ सो नाउ कमिङ टु ग्याङटक सो ग्याङटक हेऱ्यो भने तपाईँले लास्ट 30 इयर्समा देयर हेज बीन लाइक अब लाइक भेरी ऱ्यापिड खालके एउटा अर्बनाइजेसन भयो होइन एकदमै हामीले कहिले एक्सपिरियन्सै नगरेको एन्ड अफकोर्स द्याट अल्सो सोज प्रब्ली prosperity in our society, I guess. It has and also अब यहाँ गान्तोकमा तपाईको because like a lot of offices are located, तपाईको lot of like institutions are located, like educational institution, health institutions. So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि there's a lot of तपाईको rural migration that is happening like to Gangtok, and of course there's a lot of तपाईको economic opportunities हरु पनि धेरै छ यहाँनिर. So but like अहिले अघि प्रशान्तले भन्नुभएको जस्तै the quality of life तर यहाँनिर because it has become so dense and it's not managed गरेको छैन राम्रोसँगले, so the problems हरु बढ्दै जाँदैछ. तपाईको अब congestion त भइहाल्यो, त्यो तपाईको एउटा environment हाम्रो त्यो जुन चाहिँ एउटा like it used to be a very nice clean environment पहिला, with a lot of greenery around, so those things are depleting. तपाईको जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो infrastructure छ city को अब झोडाजहरु भयो, even like pipelines हरु भयो, त्यसमा धेरै अब तपाईको even like sewage हरु भयो, waste हरु भयो, so there are a lot of like pressure on those infrastructure also, है. And अर्को अब intangible thing हरु हेर्नु भयो भने there is एउटा तपाईको I think it happens I don't know if it's a natural phenomena, but then there is I can experience, I can even like मैले आफैले experience गरेँ, there is a loss, एउटा त्यो sense of community भन्ने, मान्छेहरु चिन्दैन वरिपरि हैन, so like there is a loss of that हुन्छ नि, and there is more crime, I guess, like पहिला अब, but again these are again result of like यो त्यो अब डेभलपमेन्टै भनौँ न, अब if you are not really careful of like what kind of development that's happening, so these are like byproducts of that हुन्छ नि. And of course there's like a lot of income disparity, there's mental health issues, so I'm not going to get into that, but like yeah, so we'll see where we are at and how do we move like in Gangtok हुन्छ नि, how are people moving in Gangtok. So अहिले हेऱ्यो भने अब generally people either they walk or either गाडी लिन्छ हैन, तर गाडी त अहिले अब it's almost like it's jam everywhere, अगाडि पनि jam पछाडि पनि jam, there's jam everywhere, है. And there is obviously increasing number of commuters, तपाईको अहिले vehicles पनि नयाँ register भइबस्दै रहेछ, and अहिले स्पेस पनि छैन, अब रोड बढाउने or रोड नयाँ बनाउने रोडको लागि जग्गा पनि छैन, त्यो parking is a major problem. It's almost like त्यो भरी कपमा भरेको जस्तो नि, so त्यस्तो खालके भइरहेको छ. हाम्रो pedestrian ways हरु त छ, अघि प्रशान्त दाजुले देखाउनु त हुँदै थियो, it is along the highway, तर त्यो भित्र like the inner city जुन चाहिँ अब यता जस्तै अब डाँडा गाउँहरु भयो, यता आरिताङहरु भयो, भित्र गयो भने त त्यति बेसी चाहिँ त्यहाँनिर हुनु त छ फुटपाथहरु, तर it is not त्यति साह्रो फ्रेन्डली छैन जस्तो लाग्यो हैन. And so these are the conditions at the moment. Like imagine climbing up that stair and like walking along this unsafe Jora. This is right next to my house, by the way. And So, but still, I mean, like, with all the problems, Gangtok is still thriving. Like, it is considered one of the like thriving cities in this region. And in terms of like your terrain, there's hardly any place like this. I mean, there are probably few places like this. Our neighboring like region ma Darjeeling, Kalimpong are like that, but then like it has this unique like feature on its own, because in terms of its topography, tapeko geology area bane, and एउटा unique settlement pattern पनि भएको छ क्या, because it's not deliberated or anything. That's come about without planning only. So, and then also यहाँ हेऱ्यो भने Gangtok it experiences a lot of rainfall also. It has like which I'm going to talk about a little later. But also, I mean, we have to realize that as a society, as Sikkimese people, I mean, we are experiencing like urban life or urban like the city for the first time, and along with that, like हामीले जुन चाहिँ problemsहरू experience गर्दैछ, this is happening for the first time हुन्छ नि. So like Gangtok ma the road network obviously is dictated by the terrain and the possibility of planning जुन चाहिँ हुन्छ, so is constrained by this particular road network only है. So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि and on top of that, we have like the geology. There are a lot of like there are a lot of thrust, these fault lines which are passing through Gangtok, and because we are in because we are like young fold mountain Himalayas, so there are like a lot of pockets of sinking area, landslide hune jaggaharu cha, and on top of that hamro rainfall pani त्यतिकै भइराख्छ, त्यो drainage पनि राम्रो छैन. So there's a bit concerning in terms of thing हुन्छ नि. So how do we grapple all this, and how do we grapple with the concept of urban life हुन्छ नि. And हामीले हेर्दाखेरि like no one's going to come and solve these problems for us, right? So although we are facing this problem for the first time, but we will have to solve it ourselves, because we know the city, we know the context better. So generally the trend is we tend to undermine आफूलाई undermine गर्नु खोज्छ, and then we think that हामीले त्यति ठुलो problem or solve गर्न सक्दैन, and then we completely depend on like outside agencies हुन्छ नि. And so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि धेरै प्लानिङहरु एक्सरसाइज पनि गरिसकेको छ ग्याङटकमा, but none of it अहिलेसम्म कुनै पनि इम्प्लिमेन्ट हुन सकेको छैन हैन, because the fact that I don't know अब उहाँहरु कहाँनिर बसेर प्लान गर्नुहुन्छ होला, they probably यता आएर अब like proper like बसेर or like local stakeholders सँग मिलेर गरेको भए चाहिँ अर्कै कुरा हुन्थ्यो होला, but lot of plans have been made and none of it is working, eh? So is there a way? So हामीले in terms of planning, can we develop a plan which is people-centric, which is like which considers all these unique things that I just talked about? So there is a way, and then we'll propose this right now. And but then one of the main things is like without consulting with people, we can't move ahead. So obviously, like in terms of traffic and all that, there are many immediate solutions, like which I'm not going to probably talk about, but like I'll just give you an example. Like for example, if we can improve the existing public transport, we can increase the frequency हाम्रो टाइमिङहरु टकटक गरेर उयो गर्न सक्यो भने मेबी वी क्यान इम्प्रुभ इट। अहिले जुन चाहिँ एक्जिस्टिङ रोड नेटवर्क्सहरु छ यता बाइपासबाट जाने यता अर्को यता सियारीबाट जाने, इफ वी इम्प्रुभ दोज कन्डिसन मेबी थिङ्स विल लाइक अलरेडी बिकम बेटर हुन्छ नि। बट लाइक इन द लङ रन चाहिँ कस्तो प्रकारले हाउ क्यान वी थिङ्क है। सो recently government also has passed a bill on ropeway, so then in fact like Kalazizu was talking about ropeway for a long time, and it is a very much a viable alternative for development of this place, because we are constrained. Abo roads pani badaun sakdaina, gadi pani gako cha, so what's the other way huncha ni? So ropeway, we see that as a very viable alternative. I think this bill was passed on November, and मैले बुझ्दाखेरि this is only for legislation रहेछ, legal framework रहेछ, but we don't know like what the plans are, कस्तो प्रकारले plan गर्ने हो, कस्तो प्रकारले stations-हरु गरेको छ, so we don't know that yet because things are not very transparent. But we have a certain solution when it comes to ropeway. But why ropeway भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ we feel that ropeway obviously it runs on electricity, so there's hardly any pollution. There's like त्यो एकदमै कम्ती ल्यान्ड चलाइकिन नै you can have like a very efficient खालके networks. You can move people from one place to another very easily, whereas roads and all take a lot of land and all of that. And then ropeway, it can traverse tapeko vertical distances very easily tapeko huncha ni. So since hamro geology, hamro topography ne त्यस्तै छ, so it can easily like cut like distances त्यो उयसमा. And ropeway ma के हुँदो रहेछ भने तपाईको there's like since there's no like the traffic the road vehicles so it has its own line and all that, so there is unhindered kind of movement to continuously chalibascha tapeko huncha ni. And also हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो natural drainage छ, हाम्रो hill को natural drainage छ, so it has very त्यो interference हुँदैन त्यो natural drainage लाई है. And unlike roads and all that, which requires like a lot of drains and also it like the runoff pani pura bhayera jन्छ तपाईको. And but at the same time aligati त्यो there are like negative things of ropeway. One is like since we are on a geologically fragile khalke environment ma, and also earthquakes happen very frequently, so the safety, I know that technology has become very, very safe, but then like we still that would be a concern. Another concern would be tapeko visual impact, like you'll see a lot of like gondolas tapeko moving in and around in the sky, eh? And another one of the major concerns is like tapeko availability of land. Ropeway ta banaउने अरे तर कहाँ बनाउने, because like most of the land belongs to private holdings, eh? So just as a concept, so we have developed something to structure the tapeko ropeway system ni. So this is the Gangtok hill. On your right hand side you'll see tapeko Pusuk Khola, on your left hand side is your tapeko Rani Khola, हैन. And जति पनि यो red area देख्नुहुन्छ, these are like dense अहिले habitation भएको जग्गाहरु. So and then त्यो जुन चाहिँ बीचमा एउटा line देख्नुहुन्छ, that's the ridge of Gangtok, है. So what we feel is like okay, so this is the existing road network तपाईको हुन्छ नि. Existing road network चाहिँ यस्तो छ which goes through the city. So if we have to introduce ropeway, how do we go about it, right? So this is the tapeko अहिले हाम्रो existing ropeway is there, which is being used for tourists हुन्छ नि. अहिले त्यो देउराली देखि तपाईको माथि secretariat पनि जान्दैन आजकल, like it just goes till assembly सँग मात्रै जान्छ, but there is this existing route which is marked by red, eh? So what we feel is like if we can extend that line, and then त्यो यो line चाहिँ तपाईको मुनि लिएर along the ridge, if we can connect it to Rani Pool all the way, so एउटा त्यो line आयो अरे तपाईको हैन. and then we have another line, because like अघि मैले भनेको जस्तै since it can traverse like vertical distances very easily, so we can have a network of lines which can converge to this main like तपाईको ridge हुन्छ नि, main line भनौं न. So like पहिलाको मेट्रो अरे उता दिल्लीहरुको मेट्रोहरु जस्तै नि. So you can easily like connect many parts of the city to the main line. So this is like a schematic khalke हामीले we had prepared like for the presentation. So Serani पुलबाट माथि तपाईको north को जाने वाजासँग stand छ अरे, and in between there are a lot of stations in between, and then and it's also connected to the other part of the hill हुन्छ नि. And so these were the schematic khalke एउटा connection, and the network like could look like something like this. And there are many places tapeko, if you see at the if you go towards Busuk side and all that, there are a lot of land which is available, but then I let you road or room puyeko chaina haina. So there is possibility of connecting those areas as well. And then हामीले we've also considered that यो line लगाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ, so if the location जति पनि हाम्रो त्यो रोपेको स्टेशनहरु छ त्यो चाहिँ एकदम dense खालके त्यो गाउँ भित्र आयो भने चाहिँ, so it can have like because the stationsहरु has like a lot of people coming in over there, it can tapeko open up a new model of like it can, there's a lot of economic opportunities bhanau na, there's like a lot of economic opportunities that will open up. There will be a lot of like it can bring a lot of vibrancy to a particular locality, which at the moment it is not. Like only MG Marg is very vibrant, whereas other parts of Gangtok is not, like it's kind of neglected in a way. And we can also tapeko jati pani यो जुन चाहिँ city fabric छ, we can connect to the main part of the city as well, like so we can integrate like very easily. And then and अघि मैले जुन चाहिँ भन्दै थिए, we can take it to different part of the तपाईको like uninhabited like landहरुमा पनि, so it can address तपाईको future growth of the city as well. And the same lines can be connected to the other side of Ranka as well, which Prashant was talking about, having like urban villages. So so ropeway has that kind of possibility, and okay, I think I'm like little time lisagola. So Esma what do I, so ropeway stations जुन चाहिँ हुन्छ नि तपाईले अघि मैले भने जस्तै, so it can act as an economic driver, and तपाईको जुन चाहिँ it can like trigger like एउटा development for a locality हुन्छ नि त्यो एरियामा. So the development चाहिँ तपाईको एकदमै distribute गर्नु सक्छ. We can distribute, like it doesn't have to be monocentric like the way it is right now. It can be much more like polycentric खालके नि. And they could be like, and then by doing this हामीले we would decongest the road as well, and so yeah, okay, I'm not going to talk more तपाईले बोलिहाल्नु. So यसमा अब यस्तो खालके habitation छ हैन. So one is ropeway definitely, like but at the same time like we can use like non-motorized khalke transport as well, like which is tapeko obviously Prashant was also saying like walking or like if we can introduce cycling, but then like yeah, so there is a proposal something like this, like for example if these are the just a generic like archetypal khalke hamro yanera development. So if you see tapeko these like ropeway station agar त्यो अघिको dense habitation मा त भित्र आएर हैन, so you can create this like pathways along the contour which are easy to walk हुन्छ नि तपाईको. And then त्यो के भन्छ त्यो walkways मा चाहिँ like development like development can happen, and then those walkways are also like connected with escalators in between हुन्छ नि. So you can efficiently create a new layer in the city which can like it is a combination of the ropeway which creates a lot of vibrancy in the locality, and at the same time like create like a network of pedestrian like streets like where people can walk easily and freely, eh? And the it's something like this. Like if you see the ropeway station, that is the cable car station bio. So once the station is there, like the station can also double up as public space. It can be a library, it can be a gym, it can be anything. There can be a lot of shops around it, so that the whole area vibrant बनाएर and then so if you see those gray lines, so those are pedestrian network which are along same सीधा हिँड्ने बाटो हैन. And then त्यसमा we can connect say माथिपटि एउटा pedestrian way छ रे, मुनिपटि एउटा pedestrian way छ रे. So those things can be connected with help of escalators or ramps. So it becomes accessible suddenly. Like अहिले त अब हिँड्ने जग्गा पनि छैन, बिल्डिङको कुनाबाट गइरहनु पर्छ हैन. So we can create like this this new sort of like development in like within Gangtok in existing condition. Sorry, yeah, so it's something like this. So if you look at the section, that's the ropeway station, and then you can create this pedestrian networks in between the building, and then the pedestrian network hune bittikai त्यहाँनेर मजाले दोकानहरु पनि चल्छ, मजाले like a lot of like there could be a lot of open spaces that can come up also हुन्छ नि. So it opens up a new possibility for the city, and like these are examples from like there's a city in South America, Medellin भन्ने छ Colombia ma. So they have done something like this. उनीहरुको पनि त्यहाँनेर the terrain is अलिकति less steeper than ours होला, but then they have उनीहरुले त्यो existing city मा नै उनीहरुले त्यो improve गरेर लगेको छ. So like on माथिपटि हेर्नु भयो भने there's like this pedestrian ways which are along the same contour सीधा भएको, and then if you have to connect it down, connect munipati connect गर्नु पर्यो, you can either use staircase or escalators हुन्छ नि. And also like in between there can be a lot of public spaces that can come up, and then on the lower right मा हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ these are ropeway stations हुन्छ नि. Ropeway stations as public space हुन्छ नि. So it can really add like a quality of life, and it can contribute to the local economy as well, eh? So so when we talk about like public spaces, but there's like public spaces are also lacking like in the rest of the city, Amro. So one of the things that we saw was like aile tab jun चाहिँ झोडा छ अहिले. So यो झोडामा चाहिँ तपाईको it's this like it's an open drain. A lot of people like throw garbage in this, so this place has become like an easy place for people to throw uyo huncha ni. And then not just that, like not just garbage, tapeko yahanira there's a lot of like gray water coming in. There's a lot of like sometimes even black water sewage haru pani आइराको हुन्छ है. And तपाईले हेर्नु भयो भने यो झोडाहरु गान्तोकमा चारैपटि छ, तपाईको थुप्रो जग्गामा छ. Like this one in गैरीगाउँ, one in Greendale, तलमाथि development area ma. And then all this झोडाहरु तपाईले like if you see like it carries so much of waste, and it carries so much of like it's and all of them like it ends up in the river हुन्छ नि तपाईको. And हाम्रो तल त्यो river is very much polluted, right? So how do we improve this? Like how can we improve this भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ so अघि भनेको जस्तै मैले यो हेर्दाखेरि हामीले this झोडा it runs, so that's माथिपटिको map is showing like the watershed of Gangtok, and if you see a lot of these झोडाs, they pass through this dense like urban fabric हुन्छ नि तपाईको. And then that's where like most of the like waste is generated, and then it ends up in the river, So to improve that, how can we like think? So this is just a case in point. Like I was just trying to propose this, and we had proposed this to the government also, and also we had exhibited Asti Bakar Amro Architects of Sikkim ko isma pani. So since it's an open drain, it's very unsafe. It's like visually very like disturbing also. So what if we turn the jhoda into a public space? Because अहिले हेऱ्यो भने तपाईको पब्लिक स्पेसको लागि जग्गा चाहिन्छ हैन, जग्गा कहीँ पनि छैन, जग्गा लाइक all the holdings belong to like it's private holding, है, government doesn't own land, but jhoda is something that like the government owns, and like but then in order to use that jhoda as a public space, we need to really take care of what is beneath it, because like अहिले तपाईको झोडाको वाटर रेनी सिजनमा हेर्नुभयो भने झोडा डरलाग्दो बढेर जान्छ हैन. So if we are to like cover the jhoda, we need to really take care of what is beneath it. So there are certain proposals which I'm not going to get into the detail. There are certain details जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब we can stop that from happening. We can really redesign मुनिपट्टिको झोडा properly. And also अहिले हेर्नुभयो भने त्यो झोडामा तपाईको there are a lot of like service lines हुन्छ नि, infrastructure lines which are passing through. So त्यसलाई पनि मजाले streamline गर्नु सक्छ. And then like if you see तपाईको यो dense खालके agglomeration मा there's a lot of like the safety issues हरु पनि छ, fire को hazard हरु छ, तपाईको open spaces like earthquake हरु आउँदाखेरि त्यो open space जाने जग्गा छैन. So all of that can be easily addressed by doing that. And on top of that, you get like this fantastic public space which like the people can use, and by doing that, like your public space to create garsa, but then the entire neighborhood ko tapeko abo the quality changes, there's a lot of economic opportunities, there are a lot of shops that can open up, so it becomes very vibrant. And like what happens in MG Mark can happen in different pockets of Gangtok, so this is what we feel. And Agi Prashant Dazulim kura garnu hunदै थियो, that riverfront development in Adampul भनेर नि. So we also feel that अहिले त already अब धेरै बिल्डिङहरु पनि आइसक्यो, but still like if we can like develop that front, because अहिले गान्तोकमा धेरै अब तपाईको housing को shortage छ हैन. So there's a lot of light and ventilation को issueहरु छ. So why can't we use, or why can't we grow in a way that is well planned beforehand, so त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ we've proposed something over here as well. But before that, we need to like train the jodas, because like the river island, river छ, it's very very dirty, so for that we've kind of like proposed a filtration system also. And also at the same time, Adampul area cha, if we use ropeway as a viable option, so it's not even like 5 minutes, probably 5-10 minutes मात्रै हुन्छ होला यहाँबाट हुन्छ नि तल, because it's so short. So you can take the ropeway and go down to Adampul, and then the Adampul area, that whole stretch can be like developed very nicely, हुन्छ नि. You can have like a riverfront development, or riverfront like promenade, or like a walking space which can like where you can enjoy the river as well. There could be a lot of cycling pathways that can be cycling and pedestrian. I see a lot of like people who go for jogging and all already over there, so it can be developed very well, this like the area. So the proposal is something like this. So but like you sabai proposed the gordes हामीले, but how do we do this, like how are we planning to do this? Like we can't just think, and there are many challenges, like obviously to propose something like this, it should be accepted by the government first, because government generally is the implementing agency, and there is issue of land holdings, and there is like government after compliances or whether government can understand this or not. So there's also like financing kokura ruchala, and also like generally people don't trust something like this to I mean, there is a trust deficit between government and public. So because of how things have been done, so how do we do this in all of this? So for us, like, it's clear that we need to, first of all, have like a rigorous consultation with with the stakeholders, with the landowners, to sort of discuss like these kind of proposals, and also approach the government to consider the proposal. And without like community involvement, like thing like about urban planning bhanne cheezharu, without involving people, it is not possible. So we feel that we have to involve like people, and then we can have workshops, we can have interactive workshops, we can have like so feedback like mechanisms where you can gather like feedback from people, like, and it's not like it can't be done. We have done it. This is like one of the consultation workshop architects Sikkim ko time ma gareko थियो बाटो खोजु workshop ma, and then we can even display the proposals हुन्छ नि तपाईको. So display the proposals, get them, like have them comment on it, like and so we feel like in order to agadi badnu ho भने चाहिँ we need to rigorously engage with like public, and also it kind of like builds trust हुन्छ नि with the government and also for the government, so, and with public and for public हुन्छ नि. So we feel that's the way to go about it. And then in terms of like financial, like the ownership model, so how are we going to like do the ownership model? So there is this model that we are kind of proposing where like say यस्तो खाले ठुलो infrastructure तपाईको city मा आउँदैछ अरे हैन. So is there a possibility where people can own it as well? Like people can be, own a part of the venture भनौं न. So अगर रोपे गर्नु पर्यो भने, for example, what are the things that's needed हुन्छ नि. So there'll be like एउटा cable car company हुन्छ होला, which will be getting the technical expertise, and then तपाईको landowners हरु हुन्छ, then infrastructure development गर्नु पर्यो होला, then the government will be a stakeholder, there'll be a power supplier, and there'll be local investors possibly, so उनीहरुलाई if we can build some sort of like consortium, and also काम गर्ने मान्छेहरु, like we can also have like sweat equity जस्तै हुन्छ नि. If we can all come together and then form a consortium, and then जुन चाहिँ अब हामीले बाहिरबाट cable car companies हरु हुन्छ, we can have someone who understands like this ownership model and who understands like what we're trying to do, and we can partner with them, like who are alikati value aligned खालके मान्छेहरुसँग partner पनि गर्न सक्छ है. So so त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ why are we doing this भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ like if it has to be like it can, the whole thing can be broken into shares हुन्छ नि. So and then why are we doing like this भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो यो important जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो asset हुन्छ, यो public asset like the city को asset हुन्छ, त्यो ownership चाहिँ हाम्रै मान्छेकोमा हुन्छ क्या. So if that's the case, like we will make sure we'll take care of it हुन्छ नि. And then there will be a lot of transparency, there'll be accountability. And then while we are doing this, while we are making this kind of infrastructure, it is also an opportunity where we can learn from it, and we can actively get engaged. Obviously, sabai कुरा त थाहा हुँदैन first देखि, but we can learn from it, like how do we manage this, how do the technical हाम्रो engineers involved हुन सक्छ, हाम्रो contractors involved हुन सक्छ, हामी as architects involved हुन सक्छ. So if all of us we get involved in the making of this, and then we build capacity, and next time we have to do it in Namchi, or if you have to do it in Ranka, we can do it ourselves, and we just have to like think. So it becomes very, very important that how we do it is also very, very important, right? And and then things like ropeway and all that, it can be seen as not just like a tool to solve a particular problem, but it can also be seen as a tool to address the growth of the city, to better plan the city, to organize the city, to order the city, like the examples that I've shown early on in the presentation. Eh? So I just want to finish the presentation now, saying that it's not just Medo or few months ago, the responsibility, it is like like we can bring ideas, we can talk about, discuss things like this, but then eventually it is like a collective responsibility of everyone, and like हाम्रो future city ko future ke ho, it is like our responsibility in shaping it, and then we have to really think about it. And I would really encourage like everyone, even in this meeting or like in general also, to actively participate like in things like planning and in shaping like the future of Gangtok. And truly, and like we can have a collective journey towards a sustainable movement in our such a mountain city, Banuna. With that, I would just like to end. Thank you so much.
धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद उपेन्द्र दाजुलाई। तपाईँको प्रेजेन्टेसनहरू एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ थियो र म यहाँ जति पनि हामीसँग जोडिनु भएको छ उहाँहरूलाई जानकारी दिन चाहे कि तपाईँहरूको यदि कुनै क्वेसन्सहरू छ भने या त हामीसँग फेसबुक लाइभ मार्फतबाट नि हामीसँग जोडिनु भइरहेको छ र यदि तपाईँहरूको नि केही प्रश्नहरू या क्वेसन्सहरू छ भने तपाईँहरूले कमेन्ट बक्समा सोध्नु सक्ने हुनेछ अथवा या त तपाईँहरू यहाँ आफ्नो ह्यान्ड रेज गरेर पनि यहाँ अडियो अनम्युट गरेर तपाईँहरूले आफ्नो क्वेसन्सहरू यहाँनिर हामी माझ स्पिकर्सहरूलाई सोध्नु सक्नुहुनेछ र अहिलेसम्म हाम्रोमा कुनै पनि प्रश्नहरू आएको छैन। त्यसर्थ म हाम्रो फर्स्ट स्पिकर प्रशान्त सरलाई एउटा प्रश्न गर्न चाहे कि हामीलाई सबैलाई याद भएकै कुरा हो कि सिक्किम एउटा हिमालयन रेन्ज भएको कारणले गर्दा हैन एकदमै फ्रेजाइल ल्यान्डहरू छ। इट्स भेरी भल्नरेबल टु नेचुरल क्यालामिटिज है, जस्तै कि अर्थक्वेक बिट ल्यान्डस्लाइड होइन। अन्त हामीले धेरै जस्तो हेभी रेनफलहरू पनि हामीले रिसिभ गरिरहन्छ है। सो इन अर्डर टु हुन्छ नि हाम्रो यो जति पनि सिटिजहरू छ सिक्किममा, जति पनि नट ओन्ली ग्याङटोक अरू सिटिजहरूलाई पनि यो नेचुरल क्यालामिटिजबाट सेभ गर्नु या त क्राउडेड एरिया जति पनि छ सिक्किममा यो सबै जग्गाहरूलाई सेभ गर्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीले के कस्तो मेजर्स लिनु सक्छ तपाईँको अलिकति यसमा राखिदिनुहोस् न।
थ्याङ्क यू तपाईँको क्वेसनको लागि कि सो हाउ डु वी सेभ ग्याङटक। आई फिल हामी चाहिँ हाउ डु वी सेभ ग्याङटक भन्दा चाहिँ वी सुड सेभ आवरसेल्भ्स मिन्स वी सुड एउटा वर्ड छ प्रोएक्टिभ हुनुपर्ने। हामी आफै उठेर चाहिँ वी सुड बी इन्भल्भ एन्ड यो ग्याङटक चाहिँ हाम्रै हो भनेर चाहिँ वी सुड गेट अ काइन्ड अफ सेन्स अफ ओनरसिप of Gangtok to be able to save Gangtok। अब पहिला चाहिँ हाम्रो तपाईँले यो थाल्नु भएको छ हो, यो मञ्चले जुन चाहिँ तपाईँहरू सोच्नु हुँदैछ ग्याङटकको लागि यो गर्नु त्यो गर्नु भनेर, इट इज अ पब्लिक फोरम एन्ड इट्स भेरी गुड द्याट वी आर इन्भल्भ इन दिस, वी आर डुइङ दिस। एन्ड त्यसको लागि चाहिँ वी निड पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेसन, we need active participation of more and more people from all over Gangtok. Only then we can save Gangtok. You have to feel a sense of ownership for Gangtok. Gangtok भनेको चाहिँ के हो, Gangtok भनेको चाहिँ के हो, we have to understand that. Who are we? हाम्रो identity के हो, we have to understand that. के हो so until you feel a sense of अब तपाईँ कुन स्कुल जानुभयो, you feel committed to that school। तपाईँ कुन कलेज जानुभयो, यु फिल कमिटेड टु द स्कुल। म चाहिँ यो एलमनाई हो, म यहाँ जान्छु, मैले यो गरेको थिएँ त्यो गरेको थिएँ भनेर चाहिँ तपाईँको जुन चाहिँ सेन्स अफ ओनरसिप छ, सेन्स अफ आइडेन्टिटी छ, त्यो थियो। तर ग्याङटोकलाई सेभ गर्नुको लागि चाहिँ वी हेभ टु फिल आई एम पार्ट अफ ग्याङटोक। त्यो म देखेको छुइनँ अहिलेसम्म ग्याङटोकको मान्छेको नि। इट इज स्टिल ग्याङटोक छ र छ, यु नो वी हेभ It's there. But is it mine? मेरै हो ग्याङटोक भनेर त्यस्तो भावना मान्छेको छ कि छैन? That's very important, I feel, to save Gangtok. आफ्नो नानी छ, त्यो नानीलाई त हामी सेभ गर्नु चाहन्छौँ नि कि हाम्रो आफ्नो फ्यामिली छ, हाम्रो फ्यामिली सेभ गर्न चाहन्छौँ, हाम्रो फ्यामिली चाहिँ कहाँसम्म एक्सटेन्ड गर्छ? हामी अब धेरै सिटीहरू देख्छौँ. People feel proud. I am from so and so city भनेर, but they feel very proud. And they work towards it as a civic society. हाम्रो civic society, I feel we need to generate that. अब तपाईहरुको जुन चाहिँ मञ्च छ, यो मञ्चबाट चाहिँ I feel we can grow and it should be अब all inclusive नि. सबैलाई तपाईले एकै जुटमा गरेर नि तपाईले ल्याउनु पर्यो कि yes, we have to feel committed towards one common goal of making a great city. हाम्रो सिटी चाहिँ ग्रेट चाहिँ कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि भन्दा मात्रै त ग्रेट हुँदैन नि. सेन्स अफ ओनरशिप हुनु पर्यो, सेन्स अफ पर्पस हुनु पर्यो. त्यो पहिला भयो भने चाहिँ नि अरु त सबै कुरा भइहाल्छ. मलाई चाहिँ त्यही लाग्छ कि मेन चाहिँ मान्छेलाई मोटिभेट गरेर चाहिँ तपाईले त्यो गर्न सक्नु भने चाहिँ बाँकी यो काम यतालाई उता पार्नु र to make things work, make things happen. It is a step-by-step process. First is you have to feel committed. You have to have that sense of ownership. That's my short answer, long answer.
Thank you so much, sir. तपाईँको आन्सरको लागि. अर्को क्वेसन चाहिँ उपेन्द्र गुरुङ दाजुलाई छ. यो चाहिँ के को रिलेटेड छ भने जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो रिसेन्ट फ्ल्यास फ्लड आयो सिक्किममा है, यो टिस्टा रिभरमा, यो खालको फ्ल्यास फ्लडहरू हामीले देखिरहेको छौँ राज्यभरिमै. टिस्टा रिभरमा ठुलो आउनको कारणले ठुलो हल्ला भयो, तर सानो सानो फ्लडहरू अरू खोलामा नि आइरहेको छ होइन. जस्तै कलेज खोलामा पनि आयो, गिन्तामको जुन चाहिँ क्षति भयो त्यो पनि छ. अनि अझै पनि जुन चाहिँ रिभरको बेल्टमा हाम्रो सानो सानो बजारहरू छ. यो सिङताम रम्फू मात्र नभएर उता वेस्टमा हेऱ्यो भने हामीले लेकसेप भयो, रेसी भयो, अन्त जोरथाङ पनि, यो बजारहरू जुन चाहिँ छ रिभरकै बेल्टमा छ, रिभरकै नजिकै बनिएको जुन चाहिँ टाउनहरू छ, जुन चाहिँ प्रकारले बनिनु हुँदैन थियो टाउनहरू होइन. अब खोला छ, खोलादेखि छेउबाटै बनिन थालेको छ बिल्डिङ्सहरू. यो चाहिँ कुन प्रकारले प्लान गरेर चाहिँ हामीले अब त्यसलाई जोगाउन सक्छौँ? यो जुन चाहिँ प्रकारको फ्ल्यास फ्लडहरू छ योहरूदेखि चाहिँ जस्तो लाग्छ तपाईँलाई?
Thank you, Banu, for the question. So, regarding the towns in यो तपाईको low-lying areas मा भने पनि see, lot of the towns are already तपाईको त्यहाँनिर dense भइसकेको छ. In fact, like धेरै अघि मैले देखाएको जस्तै धेरैवटा एरिया त अलरेडी कनेक्टेड पनि छ. इन अ वे लाइक द्याट होल स्ट्रेच सिङतामदेखि रम्फू त सिटी जस्तो नै भइसकेको छ. So for us, like there are a couple of things हैन. एउटा अब प्लानिङले मात्रै सबै सल्भ हुन्छ भनेर त छैन. We need to also understand अब त्यहाँनिर त्यो एरिया कस्तो छ हैन. From and the thing is we are realizing now that राम्रोसँगले रिसर्च एन्ड राम्रोसँगले एउटा स्टडी भएको छैन त्यहाँनिर त्यो एरियामा हुन्छ नि. सो त्यो एरियामा पहिला त अब स्टडी गर्नु पर्यो अब त्यहाँको जियोलजिकल कन्डिसन कस्तो हुन्छ. बिकज आई नो द्याट तपाईको लो लाइङ एरियाजमा तपाईको नि त्यो वाटर टेबल माथि हुँदो रहेछ कि, त्यहाँदेखि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि त्यो भुइँचालोहरू आउँदाखेरि त्यो सोइल लिक्विफ्याक्सन हुँदो रहेछ तपाईको हुन्छ नि. त्यो उयो जस्तै हुँदो रहेछ, त्यो पानी जस्तै हुँदो रहेछ माटो नि. सो त्यस्तोहरू हुँदाखेरि लाइक इट्स भेरी डेन्जरस हैन. सो त्यस्तो खालको स्टडिजहरू and even like now that we see like flooding or bhayiracha. So you kasरी hundase yo flooding, you know, like one is like glacier fed, one is another tapeko runoff or besi hunde wala. So until unless we diagnose the problem properly, we can have solutions. So if we can if our government can make a team who can study like these like potential disasters or हुन सक्ने अरु चीजहरु त्यो राम्रोसँगले स्टडी गरेर if we have okay हुन्छ भने then if we have like how do we mitigate that, कसरी म्यानेज गर्ने त्यसलाई, कसरी अर्ली वार्निङ सिस्टम्सहरू राख्ने हैन, and then त्यसको बाद त्यो once we understand that and then त्यो इन्फर्मेसन लिएर we can plan नि. सो तपाईको अब बिल्डिङ रेगुलेसनहरू भयो, कस्तो खालके त्यहाँनिर डेभलपमेन्ट हुनुपर्ने, कति कुन चाहिँ जग्गामा डेभलपमेन्ट हुनुपर्ने, खोलादेखि कति माथि हुनुपर्ने हो, एउटा सर्टन लाइक एउटा डिपेन्डिङ अन द स्टडी एउटा रेगुलेसन्सहरू तपाईको इन प्लेस हुनुपर्ने. सो आई थिङ्क for me the first thing I would do is like because obviously I'm not a planner but like my afno tyo lata hisabले सोच्दाखेरि if I'm undertaking any like a major project I would do a proper study हुन्छ नि, proper like and not just like एउटा unidimensional, अलिकति सबै जग्गाबाट सबै facets बाट हेरेर, environment को point of view बाट हेरेर, mobility को point of view बाट हेरेर, सबै facets बाट राम्रोसँगले study गरेर and then we can propose a plan huncha ni, and without studying, without like knowing the reality of that area, so it'll be very difficult, it'll be foolish to propose anything also, I feel.
Thank you Upendra दाजुलाई. गेट्छु दाजुले साइड ह्यान्ड रेज गर्नुहुँदैछ. गेट्छु दाजु सुन्नुहुँदैछ? तपाईको के छ राखिदिनुहोस्. दाजु गेट्छु दाजु सुन्नुहुँदैछ?
Hi, Upendra and Prashant. Thank you for enlightening us with all the this planning and urban planning. एकदमै राम्रो लाग्यो हामीलाई as a layman to understand, to know about what can be the solution for future town in Sikkim. But it's for me it's questions. It's not a question, or kind of like a. It can be a question also, but what I like Upendra was stressing on the cable, all this cable car to solve the traffic problems, the congestions, the road problem. So Tara, I think in Sikkim, do you think it is this will solve? Because looking at the terrain, Gangtok town, so Amro hill terrain, sir, we already have high rises. There's no control. Somebody is coming with 14 stories, somebody is coming with 10, 12 story. So even if we want to, run the cable car from one point to another point, I mean, as a layman, I don't see any space in the air also now. So it has become so bad. I mean, and I was in Rumtek a couple of days back, and Rumtek Gangtok it looks like a slum area. Doesn't look like a town at all. It looks like a झोपडा तर अब के अरे तपाईको त्यसले अब जस्तो छ नि सिक्किमको जुन चाहिँ कल्चर छ, सो वाट कल्चर छ जहाँ चाहिँ म गाडी कुदाएर जान्छु, ट्राफिक जाम भयो भने अफिसर्स हेभ दिस मेन्टालिटी यार, ट्राफिक जाम भयो 12 बजी अफिस पुग्छ, के भयो ट्राफिक जाम थियो भनेर. So I think the problem is not with the infrastructures also. No, problem is with our work culture also. No, nobody wants to be on time. I mean, कुनै अफिसर पनि टाइममा पुग्छु, कुनै एउटा क्लर्क पनि टाइममा पुग्छु भनेको छैन. So we are with full of excuses. So with all our जुन चाहिँ कल्चर छ त्यसले गर्दा मेन्टालिटी हाम्रो एटिट्युड छ. I doubt even cable car will solve the problem. Second is Mr. Prashantले जुन चाहिँ भन्नु हुँदै थियो to have a sense of ownership. Yeah, because a lot of people like me, we are in the I mean in the social strata, we are just down in the lowest strata. No, I have sense of Gangtok, and I want to see Gangtok in a different way. But how this my the mass idea of Gangtok, how we will address this, how we can be part of this whole ownership and whole how we can, because in today's time with all the whatever politics and thing, it's hardly heard, right? And so how we can be part, like what Kailash Daju did, whatever, he stood for elections. And I think that was a breakthrough for all of us, people like us, who thinks अब केही गर्नु सकेन पनि we feel for the town, no? We feel for the place. So this is where I think it's something, more than place and carrying capacity, feasibility, planning, whatever. I think the first is our attitude, our culture, the Sikkimis as a culture, our the way we think. I think यो चिजहरू बदलेन चाहिँ अगाडि हामी sensitized भएनौँ चाहिँ हाम्रै कल्चरमाथि वो कल्चरमाथि हाम्रो एटिट्युडमाथि I still doubt. But anyway, if you can, two of you can just give me a just kind of like a brief opinion on this, whatever I. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I go first? Can I just
Yes,
address?
yes.
First thing, the thing about traffic jams, and I do see that the ropeway and some sort of mechanical means is something that will come later. That is something that is going to follow a kind of an attitude where we can say that the government offices don't need to be in the center of the city. That was in the second point that in the presentation I had made. Ki government offices चाहिँ बजारको बिचमा चाहिँ नराखिदिउँ, ग्याङटोकको बिचमा नराखिदिउँ, त्यो चाहिँ take it out. Take it, like other cities have government offices in like a different city altogether. Like Ahmedabad has Gandhinagar. There are other places where government offices can go. We don't need to put it in the middle of the city. And I'm really talking about people who come from villages, yeah. Our people who come from North Sikkim or from West Sikkim, South Sikkim, Namchi, कहाँबाट मान्छे रहन्छ, ग्याङटोकको भित्रैबाट पसेर त आन्द्रा भुडी छिरेर जानु परेन नि त, बाहिर बाहिर भेटेर उनीहरूको आफ्नो काम गरेर वो एक त उनीहरू आइदिँदैन हो गभर्नमेन्ट. They face so much difficulty. I really feel for the villagers who come from out of town and want to meet a government officer and they can't meet. Either they can't reach the office or the officer can't come down. So we have to move these offices out so that the government officer, it is his duty to come on time there, and when he's there, then the villager or people from outside can go and meet. So I feel that you government officers say बाहिर नै निकाल्नु पर्छ. कुन पाराले गर्नु हो? I thought of a crazy idea that okay, secretariat त यत्रो भयङ्कर secretariat बनाइदियो हो हामीले, त्यहाँदेखि अरू पनि we are making more and more government offices, and if we move them out, त्यो भएको secretary say what to do. So I felt that maybe it can be converted to a nice big 5-star hotel and then, move the government office out. Where? Because it is not supposed to be located in the middle of the city. That's the first point I want to just make. The second point about, feeling ownership for the city, for Gangtok, it's a difficult one. It's a very difficult one. It's very difficult because it's something that comes from Amro Bitra Bada. How inclusive are we? How much are we willing to accept the next person as our citizen or our equal or our friend or our we need to first have that. We have too many organizations and too much of के भन्नु मान्छेलाई नि हाम्रो भएको सिक्किमिज र ग्याङटोकको मान्छेहरूलाई to divide गर्ने. There are too many agencies and we keep doing that, and yet we say that we don't, why do we not feel a sense of identity and ownership? I feel is simply because we have too many agencies which are feeding into this कि यो चाहिँ यस्तो हो, यो चाहिँ यस्तो हो, हामी सबै यस्तो हो भनेर चाहिँ एकदम म कम्ती देख्छु. And I'm talking about inclusivity. Inclusivity means everyone. That's one of the more important things. And second thing, really something that I have been thinking and saying for a long time, why do we not feel a sense of ownership is because of the problems. I wouldn't say it's a problem, because it's a very controversial thing. It's a very controversial thing. A lot of people have also told me that they have no answer for it. My thing is that if you are paying for something, then you can demand something. You can say that, okay, this should be given to me. We don't pay taxes. We don't pay taxes, and yet we demand so much. So I feel that in other cities, why they are like after the government, after the municipality, after people hold them accountable because they are paying for it. You give your money and you say that मैले tax तिरेको छु, मेरो tax को अनुसारले मेरो त्यो facility हुनु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि त that better be there. Now we don't pay taxes, and then we say okay, there's China, China. It is all in that, in that realm. So for me, that is primal, like us feeling inclusive, and secondly, us paying for what is due to us, and then asking about if you go to a hotel, if you go to a restaurant also, you pay for your food, you pay for your hotel, then you demand the service. But here we are not paying for our service, and yet we demand कि मलाई यो किन छैन, त्यो किन छैन. So that is it's not a very popular opinion. Many people don't agree to it because there are so many things, because Sikkim is a very complicated place with complicated rules. But in all honesty, I feel that हामी ट्याक्स तिर्नु थाल्यो भने चाहिँ त्यो हाम्रो भयो नि त, हाम्रो अधिकार भयो. अनि चाहिँ अधिकार त्यो गर्नु चाहिँ it is indirect, and anyway, that's my piece for this.
Thank you.
I just want to respond to quickly. Just I'll respond to Aigacho's thinking concerns. So I know maybe this technological solutions are it might seem very far fetched, and it might तपाईँले भन्नु जस्तै अब there are अलिकति उयो नै छ. So अहिले given the situation and plus हाम्रो mindset पनि about you're expressing about sense of ownership and all, but one is the immediate solution which Prashant just talked about, decentralizing administrative offices and even decentralizing commercial areas so that people don't have to move too much. But in the long run alternative पनि छैन नि, because अब the city is continuously growing. रोडहरु बढाउने जग्गा पनि छैन तपाईको. So अब what is the other alternative? अर्को अब alternative one से के propose गर्दै थियो, monorail हो कि के भनेर भन्छ. So that's even going to be scary because that has to go in the त्यो अब रोडकै लाइनमा भनौं न. So ropeway it is something that is free of the road, free of the road network. So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि you can really make a difference. And also I feel that a lot of times we think that hundana होला, but then and because of our habits and all of that, but then there is this argument where तपाईको जुन चाहिँ habitat बनाउँछ नि तपाईले, जुन चाहिँ अब तपाईको surrounding बनाउँछ, physical environment बनाउँछ, even that has a potential to change your habits हुन्छ नि. It's not just the other way around हुन्छ नि, because case in point, I keep quoting this कि त्यो MG Marg हुन्छ नि. MG Marg पहिला अब it was really उयो हैन, and then later on people अब पहिला पुरा लिटरहरु गर्थ्यो, मान्छे के फ्याकिराको हुन्थ्यो, थुकिराको हुन्थ्यो, त्यस्तोहरु केही पनि गर्दैन एमजी मार्गमा हुन्छ नि. So I think even when I was traveling outside and all of that, मलाई कहिले पनि अब त्यो मैलाहरु गर्नु मन पर्दैन, because I was surrounded in this really nice अब मजाको environment, मजाको डिजाइन भइराको छ, मजाको त्यो सफा खालके छ भने त I wouldn't want to be rude and then throw things around. So it does has the potential to change your habits as well, मलाई त्यो लाग्छ. And then अर्को कुरा चाहिँ त्यो ropeway, I know it's a bit radical कि it's but then अब Gangtok slowly we are heading towards such a त्यो एउटा gridlock खालके situation that it demands तपाईको एउटा radical intervention if we are to live in Gangtok. If we are to go out of Gangtok, that's another thing. But if we are to live over here, like improve the conditions over here, it requires a radical intervention like this. And regarding ownership, like I think until unless, okay, I agree with Prashant that regarding taxes, and when people are like impinged upon, like they'll really like think. But and also the thing is, like, how do we encourage like people to actively get involved in like and that can happen through consultation any any infrastructure that is coming in the city, go ahead, just get them involved. They'll have like 1,001 things to say. The fact that they said something, they'll next time they'll already feel that and they'll feel some sort of ownership, and so that's what I feel. And yeah, we are also probably like very used to like getting like taken care of, and so I think like and another way, like it's a dark way probably, like to get us like until unless we face like some sort of like disaster. And because I remember 2011 मा जुन चाहिँ earthquake आएको थियो नि, त्यति बेला पनि धेरै मान्छेहरू then started talking about city, हाम्रो Gangtok कसरी उयो गर्ने, हाम्रो Gangtok त अब जान्छ होला, like बाङबुङ जान्छ होला, like हामी बिल्डिङ राम्रो बनाउनु पर्ने रहेछ. So त्यति बेला there was this like surge of like concern हुन्छ नि regarding the where they're living. So if we can advocate, हामीले अगर त्यही प्रकारले advocate गर्न सक्यो भने, if like the government उहाँहरूले अब त्यो प्रकारले भनिदिनु सक्नु भयो भने, then I think like there will be a sense of ownership जस्तो लाग्छ. I'm not giving up hope. So yeah, त्यति.
थ्याङ्क यू दाजुलाई. यहाँ हाम्रो च्याट बक्समा केही क्वेसन्सहरू आएको छ र म यसलाई स्पिकरलाई सोध्न चाहे. एउटा क्वेसन आएको छ सोना म्यामकोबाट. सो हाउ क्यान प्लानिङ रिड्युस सोसियल इनइक्वालिटिज instead of planning, like Upendra mentioned in the case of Delhi, being influenced by the dominant ideas of status and privilege, how can planning itself be an intervention to bring about inclusivity and equity, especially in the Sikkim context? So your questions, I think Upendra will answer. What in my answer?
Okay, so regarding like inclusivity, see, one way is like what I was telling in the presentation only, like that त्यो जुन चाहिँ बार्सिलोनाको त्यो grid city मा plan भयो. So like when a planner is proposing something, you make sure that it's for everybody. It's everyone has equal like access to certain services, certain amenities. So it's not like a certain section of society gets like a very nice part, or like a certain section of society gets very bad part. So this so everybody, I think it comes in planning, like how you plan it. So you make sure that like तपाईले जे पनि plan गर्नुहुँदैछ, you are keeping like people in the center, and then you're thinking of their health, of their well-being, and also I feel like especially people with low income, like they need like reaching out, we need to actively as like as the planners like we need to actively reach out to them, because they can't speak for themselves. उनीहरुको लागि बोल्दिने पनि कोही छैन हैन. So त्यो उनीहरुसँग गएर उनीहरुको problem बुझेर you reach out to them, like you connect to them हुन्छ नि. And whatever things that you are proposing in the larger picture, तपाईको like for example त्यो अघि मैले त्यो मेडिन भन्ने एउटा सिटी कोलम्बियाको भन्दै थिए नि. सो त्यो त्यसमा पनि त्यस्तै थियो क्या, तपाईको the whole city is in a valley, then माथि पार्ट चाहिँ it is तपाईको there's like there was a lot of crime because यतानिर तपाईँको लो इन्कम ब्राकेटमा बस्ने मान्छेहरू चाहिँ माथि माथि बस्दै थियो रहेछ बिकज द रियल स्टेट भ्याल्यु अफ द्याट मुनिको भ्याली एरिया वेयर द सिटी सेन्टर इज त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ पुरा महँगो भएर उनीहरू चाहिँ माथि माथि सेटल भएको रहेछ बट लाइक त्यहाँनिर प्लानर्सहरूले के गर्यो भन्दाखेरि दे टुक द सिटी टु द हिल्स हुन्छ नि दे टुक द सिटी ओभर देयर लाइक उनीहरूले थ्रु रोपवे they connected like the neglected part of the city to the city center हुन्छ नि and then त्यो जुन चाहिँ जहाँनिर उहाँहरूले स्टेसन्सहरू बनायो they made world class libraries world class gym world class like social spaces and public spaces for them to enjoy हुन्छ नि so they were not neglected so त्यस्तो खालको इन्टरभेन्सन्सहरू गर्यो भने चाहिँ I think like I think they can truly be inclusive in that sense. But I'm sure there are other ways also. But like in my limited knowledge, like yeah, this is how I want to respond. Yeah.
Thank you, Taju. Prashant, so यसमा तपाईँ के एड गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ? एड गर्नु। हेलो, प्रशान्त सर सुन्नुहुँदैछ?
Yeah, sorry, मेरो mic नै off थियो। So inclusivity, it means say we have to really understand what does it mean to be inclusive. मलाई त अब हाम्रो psychologically and identity बाटै everything begins from there, and inclusivity means involving everyone, age, gender, society, community. It involves everything. A city is made like that. A city it is very a complex organism. त्यो सिटीमा जुन चाहिँ कम्प्लेक्सिटी हुन्छ नि त्यो चाहिँ मान्छेले ल्याउँछ त्यो कम्प्लेक्सिटी त्यो कम्प्लेक्सिटीलाई अब in a bad city, in a city that is not good, त्यसमा चाहिँ अब एकदम separation भयो भने चाहिँ it becomes a big problem. If we bring about inclusivity into our city and we have a mindset कि हामी चाहिँ एकदम inclusive हुने छौँ, then we can plan for this kind of अब प्लानिङमा पनि अब धेरै प्रकारको प्लानिङ हुन्छ, स्पेशली हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ सिटी जुन चाहिँ माउन्टेनमा छ, माउन्टेन सिटिजमा it is much more complex to plan. So त्यसमा inclusivity, to bring about that and to bring about equality and equity, मैले चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ अघि भन्दै थिएँ कि we have to talk about not considering जुन चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो भएकै ग्याङटोकको त्यो सिटीमा मात्रै चाहिँ इन्क्लुड नगरेर we have to make a much broader understanding of ग्याङटोक चाहिँ अलिक ठुलै भएर जानुपर्छ। मैले चाहिँ मेरो त्यो प्रेजेन्टेसनमा के भन्दै थिएँ कि मतलब भएको अहिले ग्याङटोक जहाँ हामी बस्दैछौँ त्यो चाहिँ it is only the inner city. We have to consider that as inner city only. त्यहाँबाट हामी बाहिर जानु पर्यो to create some other places. तर त्यो places चाहिँ अब हामीले त्यो डिजाइन गर्नु पर्यो, not randomly हामी जानु सक्दैनौँ. It has to be well thought about, well orchestrated and designed, so that अब यो जुन चाहिँ हामीले अब villages बनाउँदैछौँ, inclusive villages, because एउटा ठुलो सिटी हाम्रोमा त्यस्तो अब के भन्नु possibility छैन होला. We don't have that wherewithal to be able to manage a complex city in that scale. त्यो स्केलमा हामी गर्न सक्दैनौँ. सानो बस्ती बनाइदिउँ बाहिर, त्यो बस्तीमा हाम्रो इन्क्लुसिभ कल्चर बनाइदिउँ त्यहाँ, र त्यो कल्चर इन्क्लुसिभ भएर चाहिँ त्यो ओभरअल ग्याङटोक चाहिँ हामी यहाँ छौँ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो बनाउन सक्यो भने चाहिँ आई थिङ्क द्याट वुड बी नाइस।
थ्याङ्क यू सर। र अर्को क्वेसन पनि हाम्रो च्याट बक्समा आएको छ र म त्यो क्वेसन्सलाई यहाँ रिड आउट गरेँ। स्मृति बस्नेतले क्वेसन सोध्नु भएको छ, रिगार्डिङ रोड कन्जेसन एन्ड गभर्मेन्ट इनिसिएटिभ्स, हाउ फिजिबल वुड पुलिङ अ ट्रान्सपोर्ट सिस्टम फर गभर्मेन्ट सेक्टर्स employees be? The 6 districts have not had numbers of administrators in many sectors more than needed for a district. This would reduce road congestion, especially in peak hours. I think Prashant sir यसलाई answer गरिदिनु भयो नहुन्थ्यो होला.
No, Dyota, about this goes without saying. This goes without saying. We have a government that has too many employees. It has too much. There's just like the whole system is convoluted. It is like out of hand, out of place, beyond our control. We have no control over that. So in order to control it, त्यो पनि हामी निकाल्दियौ न Gangtokबाट बाहिर. That is my solution for it. Okay, I don't have like about every government employee has a car. Like, how crazy is that? And we keep increasing government employees and we keep increasing cars. Like, about we are shooting ourselves in the foot, or we are saying about यो भाँडा चाहिँ उम्लिँदैछ, हामी चाहिँ भाँडाकै भित्र छ, अन्त उम्लेको अब हामी चाहिँ तातो हुँदैछ, उम्लेकै भइसक्यो. We are still like भयङ्कर तातो भएछ. Like, we are like, what are we doing? Like, that's the problem. We are creating the problem and we are saying there's a problem. And we are saying, okay, now what to do to solve the problem? That is the problem. Instead of carpooling, if you move these guys out, I don't know who is in the government, who is not in the government. It is not, But in order to solve this, we cannot keep catering to that. That is such a huge cause of the traffic jam. Gangtok, traffic problem. That is personally for me the biggest problem that I find in Gangtok. Every other problem, we can find a solution. We can find some way out. Traffic, I don't find a solution because nobody wants to budge an inch. Nobody wants to budge. How I have solved my problem because म पनि 6 माइल बस्छु, Gangtok जानुपर्छ every day. म चाहिँ अब peak hour मा चाहिँ म जादिनँ. म बिहान 7 बजे जान्छु, 7:30 बजे जान्छु. I avoid the traffic because I don't want to be caught in traffic on a regular day. And the Gangtok pugeपछि I walk everywhere. Because that is my solution. Everybody has to find their own solution for this problem. But if you look at it, it is a problem that we are creating ourselves. We keep creating this problem ourselves, and we keep saying, "Hey, you the problem, bhai." That's the way I see this. About carpooling is an afterthought. Carpooling is a long way off. The whole building there's no need to carpool. They can carpool to go down. The government officers can go out if they live in the middle of town. They can go out of town to their offices. But why should public go into there? I know. Just that answer.
त्यही त यो जुन चाहिँ अब गाडी लिएर हिँड्ने खालको उयोहरू छ, यो चाहिँ अलिकति क्यापिटलिस्ट इकोनोमीले अलिकति प्रेरित भएको जस्तो पनि हामी देख्न सक्छौँ है कति ठाउँ. अन्त यसको सब्स्टिट्युटमा चाहिँ हामीले के हिँडेर या त साइक्लिङ गरेर या त सस्टेनेबल पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टहरू युज गरेर चाहिँ गराउनु चाहिँ एउटा डिजायरेबल अप्सन हुन्छ होला जस्तो लाग्छ उपेन्द्र तपाईँलाई?
हुन्छ नि desirable option like I mean there has to be यस्तो नि like एउटा चीज मात्रै गरेर हुँदैन. I think now there are many things that has to be done simultaneously. हुन्छ नि okay. So many things has to be done simultaneously. Like what Prashant is suggesting, I also agree with that. I mean, like maybe decentralizing your offices, and the thing is like it's a difficult one. The schools पनि हुन्छ हैन, त अब स्कुल्सलाई पनि अब बाहिर लानु त अब मिल्दैन होला because obviously त्यहाँनिर त्यही हुनु पर्यो. So there has to be एउटा change in एउटा mindset in people of Gangtok that let's if we are to do it collectively, then collectively नै हेर्नु पर्यो होला. Then we should prioritize public transport हुन्छ नि तपाईको. Public transport भनेको अहिले it's non-existent at the moment. Like bus आउँछ कहिले आउँछ and that bus gets stuck in that traffic हुन्छ नि. So the timings are completely off. So what is the other alternative? Our taxis are there. Taxis are flying all the time. Ki taxis we need to think out of the box and then make taxis as our efficient public transport or something. Everybody uses taxis or something. Yeah, we are like like Prashant is saying, like you have to come up with a own solution. I get like stuck in traffic as well, Unsani. And I'm not an early riser like Prashant does, so I do get like stuck like all the time, Unsani. But I found a way to Unsani. All the calls that I have to make, I make it in the car, Unsani. Like so सबै त्यो कल गर्ने कुनै meeting set गर्ने त्यो गरिदिइहाल्छु. So yeah, I make use of my time in traffic. Some people can find their own ways. So त्यही लाग्यो there isn't एउटा particular एउटा टक्कै चिज that यो गर्ने बित्तिकै सबै solve हुन्छ. There has to be effort from public side. There has to be effort from government side. There has to be effort like from all sides, like and also we should have that kind of system in place. We should have ideas that can facilitate this. So yeah, it's not just one thing that can solve this particular problem. Yeah, I think.
थ्याङ्क यू दाजु यसै यहाँनिर ह्यान्ड रेज गर्नुहुँदै थियो अघि यसै तपाईँले सुन्नुहुँदैछ तपाईँको केही छ भने राखिदिनुहोस् न.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Prashant sir and Upendra, for a very nice presentation. Both of you guys, I think, did really nicely. And my only question was regarding this urban village thing. How, like, because Prashant sir, you talked about, like decentralization of the government offices. That is a very good concept, which I think other cities also tend to do. For the urban villages where you're like proposing, like putting up all these kind of self-sufficient kind of a system, neighborhoods outside of the city, a little bit far away, like how is that, how can that be like, differentiated from an urban sprawl? Because at the end of the day, it is kind of like going away, and then it, it tends to like, again, traffic and all of that. Because if you see the neighborhoods, like within like existing neighborhoods out here, like we are also naturally evolving as a self-sufficient neighborhoods only. Only problem is that we don't have any like public spaces and proper infrastructure. But how can that be not differentiated from an urban sprawl? Like, because it has a danger of being that also.
Okay, great question. Thank you, Ishe. So it's very different from urban sprawl. The concept of urban village, primarily with the concept of density. When you say urban village, it is about 10 acres, 12 acres of land that is dedicated, and you take that land and you create a kind of density and you create a kind of urbanity in that area where, and I had also shown, like houses close to each other. It is not like spread out over like America suburbs or just but it is a relatively dense but low rise. Matlab ground plus one, in some cases ground plus two, but primarily ground plus one structures. You can have your own house, so you can have a single family, you can have a multi-family dwellings, and have small homestays also within that. So you create a sense of community within that. In a large city, it's very difficult to create a sense of community. Sansano Bastima, there is a sense of community that comes just from the scale and size of that village. So within the village also, when it comes to the neighborhood, it comes to the block, that block becomes very self-sufficient. And the village, if you have like a small primary healthcare center, you have a small school, you have a religious and you have like some sort of organization within that, it is very thriving. There are gated communities that work amazingly, but people pay a lot of money, and then they want to get into the gated community. Gated community gated you create a kind of a place within that, and you create and it is not like about mindless sprawl pani hoina. You have like to density density it will be a big problem. So because people are living close to each other, that's very important. And they can walk from from here to there within that amount of radius. If they can walk everywhere, then they're able to create that without allowing that to become a sprawl. So that's why in the proposal I had made we can have 4 or 5 of these really big, like 10 to 12 acre villages. That's why Sansano villages also we can make. But Jun cheese urban complexity ma Sansano that is manageable. We can create a system which can be managed, and something that is like a whole city when you have to plan for, I don't think anyone can manage that. It becomes like the stock market. Mathi go भने माथि तल गयो भने तल अन्त हेरेको हेरेकै ए यो त साह्रै बेसी भएछ कि साह्रै कम्ती भएछ ए प्रब्लम भएछ. So we only can in a city like Gangtok, or for me like a classic example is Darjeeling, where we can just look at the problem and just say there's a problem, but there are no solutions to that. I mean, yes, there are solutions, but no workable solutions until there is a policy change. So in the same way, we are going in, if we look at Gangtok in this way, we are going in that direction.
Thank you. Chat box मा अझै एउटा questions आएको छ. More questions पढ्न पाएँ. Rapid changes are happening at the fringe of our cities and in village. Those also need immediate attention, होइन? But with our existing cities having the need to be shaped themselves and us having limited capacity as it is, how do we also invest in helping the transition to happen well in this transitioning spaces? Is it possible for us to do? I think Upendra यसमा answer गरिदिन्छु.
Ishe, you want to say something?
No, sorry.
Okay. Yogesh, maybe I'm not like equipped to answer this question, but then I just want to say that see, in terms of, I understand about like त्यहाँनिर पनि बिग्रिँदै जाँदैछ, and then like यहाँनिर we are still struggling over here, but I think like without using too much of resources, at least त्यो plan त गर्नु सक्छ होला. I mean, मान्छेहरुसँग कुरा गरेर plan त गर्नु सक्छ. We can come up with एउटा road map as to how do we transit into this new areas भनेर नि. And so for me, I think like in my like limited thing, I would think like about like for example, यहाँनिर already transition हुँदैछ. अब you can see like Rangka, Rumtek like growing rapidly without a plan. Like houses coming up, lights are like glowing every now and then. I mean, like it's just like popping up everywhere. So like you can see that happening. So the least you can do is take stock of the situation over there, like understand like what the land use is, understand like the holdings or kids are. So and sort of like development plan for that place. So I mean, like what Prashant was also talking about, urban villages, right? If you are to have like urban villages, then you already about अगाडि नै अब त्यो जग्गा हेरेर बुझेर then only you can plan नि. So अलिकति plan गरेको छ भने चाहिँ then I think it'll be easy to transit होला. But if there's no plan to plan for that particular new place, then I don't think so. We should. I mean, the transition is happening, but then we shouldn't be like deliberately transiting into some other place and then destroying that place as well. I feel.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm just open. I just want to add to what you're saying. About if we look at, I go there for my morning walk. Usually, for Adampul ko Reshithang jane bato. From Adampur to Reshithang, I go there and I just see that it is just getting about Kivanu. It's going to go and get destroyed, devastated. Kivanu. It's just going to be urbanized without any plan. There are like random structures coming everywhere. There is too much randomness, So I like you were talking about, certain kind of planning. I totally endorse that. No, we have to have not certain kind. We have to have very strict guidelines, we have to have dedicated areas and have very strict guidelines, and we have to include about Delhi ma banai ni NCR bhanera, not to that scale, but about hamro pani NCR, SCR, state capital region or whatever, So we have to create an idea of Gangtok which goes beyond that about MG Marg and its surrounding हो यता पनि के रे बढिरहेको छ उता पनि बढिरहेको छ आसाम लिङ्जेबाट मान्छे आउँदै अफिस आउँछ र यता स्कुल जान्छ हो so it is really expanding. So it's one thing for the government and for us also as citizens to realize that we are expanding like crazy, but let's have a plan in place and dedicate areas and say यहाँ चाहिँ यति मात्रै गर्नु सक्छ यहाँ चाहिँ यति मात्रै. Let's have a plan and implement that plan and put an end to it before it goes out of control. Gangtok, it's gone out of control. It's totally out of control, and we have no say in that, and we have no, we can't do anything about it. I just feel that I don't know who can do anything about what is happening in Gangtok, but at least outside Gangtok, before it reaches a point where you can't do anything about it, let's do something about it.
Thank you so much, Prashant sir. र अब यसको साथमै हामी कार्यक्रमको अन्त्यमा आइपुगेको छौँ र दुईजना स्पिकरलाई हामीसँग जोडिएर हामीसँग यस्तो ज्ञानवर्धक कुराहरू राखिदिनु भएकोमा हामी धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छौँ र जो पनि मञ्च सिक्किमसँग आज जोडिनु भएको थियो उहाँहरूलाई पनि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छौँ. तपाईँहरू गुगल मिटमा होस् या त फेसबुकबाट जसरी पनि जोडिनु भएको थियो. फेरि पनि अघिल्ला दिनहरूमा पनि हामी यसरी नै यस्तो कार्यक्रमहरू लिएर तपाईँहरूको सामु अनलाइन या अफलाइन माध्यमबाट हाजिर हुनेछौँ र तपाईँहरूको साथ यसरी नै बनिरहन्छ भन्ने पनि आशा राखेका छौँ. र आजको लागि यो कार्यक्रम हामी यहीँ एन्ड गर्न चाहन्छौँ र तपाईँहरूले मञ्चलाई फेसबुकमा अनि इन्स्टाग्राममा साथै वाट्सएपमा पनि वाट्सएप ग्रुपहरूद्वारा फलो गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. त्यहाँ हाम्रो मञ्चमा भइरहेको कार्यक्रमको इन्फर्मेसनहरू अन्त त्यहाँनिर मञ्चको केही कुराहरू तपाईँहरूले त्यहाँबाट जान्न पनि सक्नुहुन्छ र तपाईँहरूले हाम्रो वेबसाइट पनि भिजिट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ भन्दै तपाईँहरू सबैबाट बिदा लिन चाहन्छौँ. फेरि पनि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दुईजना स्पिकर अनि सबैजना जो पनि जोडिनु भएको थियो आजको कार्यक्रममा उहाँहरूलाई पनि धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छौँ.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation and allowing us to talk for so long, listening to us.
Thank you everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Prashant. Okay.
Thanks, Sophie.